This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, December 13th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge. Expect cloudy skies with a high of 77. Coming up on OTB, LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey joins the show at 7:30. We also have a new edition of OTB Mailbag, so get your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, and we'll answer them in the second hour. And Nick Underhill of New Orleans.Football joins the show in the third hour to talk Saints. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another day of sports talk. That's right. Hardcore sports coming at you for the next 3 hours, 7 to 10 a.m. here. Wonderful Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios. Very pleased to be with you on this Tuesday morning, December 13th, 2022. What was that?
That's Moscona having the volume up at 100. Usually it's on mute.
Damn, that thing was
Whoa.
loud. Welcome in, though. I hope you're having a great day. Sorry if my voice sounds a little weird. That's this freaking weather type deal. But we're good. We're good. We got plenty of emergency Theraflu on deck. We are ready to roll. And we're going to start with some football today. Before that, let me welcome everyone in. Jake, how you doing today, man?
Doing great. Glad to be back in Baton Rouge for consecutive days. What feels like the first time in a long time. Glad to be here.
Hell yeah. Mario, you doing well?
Doing well. Sent some angry tweets this morning to the Suns broadcast team. One guy said he wanted Zion on his back for the game yesterday. That didn't happen. Another guy
talking about negative drip Dan Lebitard.
Yes.
That
guy. And then another guy said yesterday that the Pelicans were pumping in fake booze for Chris Paul, which is BS.
That's not just any guy. That's Eddie Johnson, wasn't it?
Eddie Johnson, yes.
Yeah, I mean, let's show some respect to Eddie Johnson. He might have been wrong.
I
but
won't
it's still
show
Eddie
any
Johnson.
respect because that's a stupid claim to make. I was in the stadium. That's just bogus. They're just mad that they lost.
See, instead of getting mad, I think you should, it should make you smile because you literally broke the Suns broadcast team.
Yeah.
You broke the post game. You broke the end game announcers. Like, you beat them so badly, intimidated them so much that they had to go looking for excuses elsewhere. But again, the post game guy, who maybe y'all can go ahead and find that clip so we can play it so people know what we're talking about. We're not just having this conversation free of context. The post game guy, though, that's another reason why I love the 360 windmill dunk. Right? They tried to put that out there. As if that was going to put a target on Zion's back, and it did. And then what happened on Sunday? Zion said, okay, that's cute. Like, hey, you could put a target on Thanos' back. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to beat Thanos, right? Like, I can want to beat somebody up, but if they are just more physically dominant than me, I'm not going to be able to do it. And that's what Zion proved on Sunday, and that's fantastic. We'll circle back around to that a bit later on. I think I want to start with a little LSU football, Jake. Citrus Bowl prep. Starting yesterday?
Yeah, I think they started, probably figuring out who they had, who's available.
Yeah, that's kind of
who's going to the draft, who's going in the portal, which players are going to be able to bring to Orlando, which is not something I really thought about because it's like, yeah, you're going to have players in the portal, you're going to have guys declare, but like in this day and age, that's probably like, okay, let's get the squad together, let's count them out, let's see what the depth chart looks like. And obviously, every team's going through that. It's not only LSU, so I'm sure yesterday was a lot of that as well, figuring out who's actually going to be available for them.
Well, B.J. Ojolari, let's do a rundown real quick. B.J. Ojolari is declared for the draft. We can get into B.J. more kind of if we want to, about like kind of how will he be remembered? What does he mean to the team? But BJ's declared for the draft, which means now I couldn't see. I think maybe it's not fully said yet. Is he playing in the Citrus Bowl? Ojulari? I don't think it's confirmed either way.
I don't know. Yeah, either way, because I was reading the message you put out yesterday, and it didn't include that. So, honestly, though, wouldn't bank on it at this point.
No, but the only reason I ask is because with the Desmond Little transfer, that means that you were down to just Xavier Carter as your kind of edge rusher, although Harold Perkins can really
I'm sure he's going to have to he's going to have to move to edge rusher. Savion Jones is going to have to probably kind of be a stand-up more.
Yeah.
And Ali Gay is going to probably be by himself on the other side.
Yeah.
You were so thin at that position across the defensive line already.
Xavier Carter had a really good game against New Mexico. Now, exactly, like for whatever that's worth, right? But it is, I am intrigued to see how much he plays and what he can do in this game. God, my throat is not working with me today. Jay Ward has declared for the draft. Now, he is going to play in the Citrus Bowl. He said, and then Mekhi Gardner declared for the draft, which maybe was a bit surprising, as I thought that he had a really good year this year and potentially could have come back and maybe even raised his stock even more. Dre Jenkins going to try out the NFL. He will not play in the bowl game, which means, Jake, you're now going to be down to 4 wide receivers. You got 1 edge rusher. You're going to be down to 4 receivers healthy for this bowl game with Kayshon Boutte, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, and Kyron Lacey.
Exactly. I mean, it's going on across the country in some places more than even here at LSU. But that's just the way it is. That's why you played a bowl game with a receiver at quarterback last year. And that's what bowl games are going to be now for the rest of time unless they change what's going on in college football. So it's going to be not only a Citrus Bowl, which it's a big bowl game. I mean, I played in one, you played in one. Bowl. It's a big bowl.
It's called the Capital One.
It was Capital One when I played in it, and it's gone Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. I mean, it's been all over the place, but it's a big bowl.
Now it's a Cheez-It Citrus Bowl.
Yeah, and the Cheez-It Bowl is still in Orlando as well. I think Florida State's playing.
A citrus-flavored Cheez-It sounds awful.
It does sound
it's
great.
an odd combination.
Yeah, they bought 2 bowl games in the same stadium.
All I care about is who's going to get to stay in the I'm feeling the cheesiest rooms. But I guess we'll know that as we get closer to the bowl game.
So even like New Year's 6 games, though, like Alabama, every time I open up Twitter, like I have a transfer portal account that I follow, and there's a Alabama player in the portal as well.
It's one of the reasons, again, why the expanded playoff is needed, because the playoff has helped to kind of lessen all of the other bowl games. And so if you want to keep more of these stars playing later into the season, you need more of these teams with a chance to feel like they have a championship. I think also, Jake, eventually with the expanded playoff, you're going to have to start giving the players a cut of the money like you do in the NFL. Now, I don't know what sort of legal red tape from like a CBA standpoint there is there to be able to do that, but I do know that conferences like the Big Ten and others are already trying to explore what it would look like to give them cuts of the TV deals. But yeah, I mean, they're going to try to find ways to incentivize guys to stick around for this last game. I don't really mind, right? Like it's interesting. When this first started, it was, well, this is only going to happen to the best players. But then you kind of realize, well, if I'm going to the NFL, why wouldn't I go start to get ready for the NFL, right? Like I put all this tape out there. Rare is the case where this one game sample would dramatically increase my stock. Now, I'm not saying it can't help you, but rare is the case. And so it quickly became apparent, like, yeah, if you got to go to the combine or a pro day, which is a different style of training than football, and you want to try to do your best, if you stick around for 15 more practices and then a game week, you just let somebody else gain a month of prep time on you that you'll be running the 40 against. You'll be running the 5-10-5 against, doing all. So it's tough spot these kids are in. And I kind of like it, though, Jake, honestly, because I don't think it speaks to any, like, I don't think it makes you, like, not a competitor or a bad teammate or anything. Like, again, because I understand where they're coming from. What I like is it allows you to start to look forward to next year. Like, we might see some faces that are going to step up next year that we had not seen before. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see which guys do the most with the opportunity that is now going to be given to them thanks to these exits.
Yeah, look, it's a personal decision, and I know it's the ultimate team sport. I personally would never have missed an opportunity to play for LSU that's just me. Now, I was a third rounder. I wasn't a first rounder. So
What
maybe
if you
that
were in the
conversation.
Independence?
If I was what?
What if you were
Oh,
going to
buddy,
the
I'd be the
Independence
first
Hall?
guy out the tunnel.
Yeah, that's a bad call by me.
Hand raised, L's up, baby.
What about the
It wouldn't matter.
Bad Boy Mower Bowl.
I'd be on the lawnmower coming out of the tunnel.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't matter. But that's me. That's my personal choice. And that's just the way that I would approach it. Because I played for the San Diego Chargers longer than I played for any team. Longer than I played for the Sunset Acres Indians. Longer than the Evangel Eagles.
Yep.
LSU Tigers. Doesn't matter. If you gave me one play, you said, hey, you can dress in a uniform, you can cover one kick, it'd be in an LSU uniform. And it's not even a question.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Because to me, college is different than pros. But that's my decision. Like, you might do something else. You know, Mario would do something else. Taylor would do something else.
No, I mean, I would play. I don't care. I don't give a damn about my high school.
And that's well, I'm saying, like, and that's fine.
LSU.
But that's just my personal decision. And so everybody's case is different. Everybody's situation is a little different. You know, Jay Ward's playing in the bowl game.
Yeah.
He declared for the draft. He's still going out there and he's still going to practice.
That's true.
And that's his decision.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is an individual decision, and that's tough because it is, again, the ultimate team sport. But I'm not going to fault a player for doing what he has to do, because you made a great point about getting ready for the combine. And it's not my favorite process, because why are we out here running straight lines in underwear? We'll never do that in a game, but that's what it is, and that's what you have to do. So I'm agreeing with you, but also I would do something different, and that's okay as well.
Yeah, I think that now, if you want an argument for playing, is Jay Ward, do we know if he's like, is he going to the Senior Bowl or East West Shrine or anything?
Jay's going to Senior Bowl.
Okay, so then this is actually not the worst thing, because he will stay football sharp, right? And then he'll have football more recently still in him when he suits up for said Senior Bowl, which could potentially help him. And if he goes plays well, so whatever. Jay Ward says, you know what? Yeah, like Jake, he wants to play one more time for LSU. So I don't judge guys either way.
Rusty actually brings up a good point inside the chat, T, about not making the bowl game count against your 4 games that go towards redshirting.
Do they do that?
Yeah, because that's why Nussmeier didn't play in the bowl game last year. Because it would have been his 5th game.
Yeah.
And so that's why John Trey Kirkland had to play in that bowl game.
No, these things should be treated like the exhibition games that they are.
Yes.
Like they should not count for eligibility. You should be allowed to play even like an early enroll freshman or something if you somehow wanted to have him like go cover a kick or something. Like you should definitely relax the rules around this. I would definitely be in favor of that.
And so that way you don't run into a situation where you're trying to save someone's red shirt and you have 38 scholarship players playing in the Texas Bowl.
Yeah.
Against Kansas State, who was at full strength.
Man,
Drew Brees did spin that thing though for 3 touchdowns.
Well, it's a moment that will be completely forgotten in time, except for the people that are real LSU football nerds. But there is something glorious about, despite the fact that you lose to Kansas State, you were the one celebrating as the clock hit 0, while Kansas State had to kind of awkwardly be like, yeah, but you're like running out there and like lifting guys up on your shoulder. You're like, yeah.
Jake Peach threw his headset up in the air and was like celebrating.
That's what I'm saying.
It was like the most odd scene.
You kind of cucked Kansas State celebration.
You
Like you took it from him, like right underneath him. I loved it. All right. Well, I'm interested to see a couple more things I want to talk about here in the next segment. Will Jaden go? Will Greg Brooks go? We got some LSU awards to talk about. How much Kai Wingo do? Cleaning up on the award circuit. We'll get to all of it and more right here on Off the Bench. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. Please share it, subscribe it, tell your friends about it, please. The algorithmic gods that rule our existence. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So, Jake, whenever we're talking about Riverlands Insurance, we're talking about Thomas and Megan email, one of the things that we're really hitting on is the customer service, right? Like you give out the cell phone number, a cell phone number that he will answer whenever you call. Well, speaking of that personal relationship, only a couple people have done this, but Thomas called me up yesterday. Not talk business, not talking insurance, not talking anything like that. Just ask how the baby was doing. Ask how the little one was doing there. That's good business, okay? And that's the attention to detail, the care that Thomas puts into every one of his customers. So if you want to save money get in touch with Thomas. Jake's going to give you the number. Get in touch. Give him a couple pieces of information. Let him do the shopping around for you, and you can save hundreds to maybe even thousands of dollars.
Yeah, a lot of times these things don't go together, like the cell phone number that I give you, and also being voted #1 insurance workplace in 2022 by Insurance Business Magazine. But that's what you get at Rivers Lions. 225-206-1517.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Join me, Jimmy Out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob, the 2022 LAB Prestige Award winner for Best Sports Radio Show. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. OTB, Wham, hitting this morning. Jake, talking about guys. Well, first off, shout out to Mekhi Wingo. We can go down the list of winners from last night's LSU Football Awards. Shout out to Mekhi Wingo being named the Alvin Roy Award winner, one of the premier LSU awards given out. Did you win the Alvin Roy? I feel like I remember seeing you.
No, I did not. That was, I think, Stelz.
Okay.
Hey, dude, we've had this conversation. Shout out to my guy, Coach Moffitt. Wasn't a fan of Flynn and I in the afternoons.
That's true. That's very true.
And I've tried to tell him, look, the afternoons were hotter. It wasn't the smartest decision by us, but in fact, we were getting better than the 6 a.m. group.
Early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. Man, that used to trigger him. And if you don't understand what that means, well, just think about it for a second, okay? The first mouse goes to the cheese and gets caught in the mousetrap. He's dead. You, being lazy, you just scoop up, you just walk over your boy's dead body, and you get the cheese. That's the point. But not only the Alvin Roy winner for LSU, but Mekhi Wingo, the lone All-American on this LSU football team, a third-team All-American, which now means you have an interior defensive lineman that was all-SEC freshman team, All-American as a sophomore, and was the highest graded interior defensive lineman according to PFF in the entire SEC. Like, do not sleep on this man, okay? And as we enter the offseason, prepare yourselves. You can go to bed at night fantasizing about him and Mason Smith next to one another because it is going to be glorious and it is going to be a sight to behold. So other awards you had.
What about that fine, by the way, in the transfer
That's what
portal?
I'm saying.
And we talked about it when it happened. And we're like, this guy's the highest rated player that LSU got out of the portal that nobody's talking about.
Yeah.
And obviously they knew what they were talking about when they went and got him, and the services knew what they were talking about when they were grading him. So, I mean, he was a massive surprise for me, not knowing who he was coming in, and ended up being the best pull out of the portal.
And then you had Mason Taylor earning the freshman, he earned the academic award. Excuse me, I just assumed it was freshman of the year. You had Greg Brooks named newcomer of the year. Think Greg Brooks is going to go, or do you think Greg Brooks come back?
I can see him coming back.
Okay. We'll see.
I think he had a really good year.
He did.
I think he can build off of it. Another year in the system. Certainly at the beginning portion of the seasons when he kind of flashed, and so maybe another year would help him.
Yeah, and by the way, the Alvin Roy is basically your kind of strength and conditioning award. It's who puts in the work. And that's right in line with the fact that he won the Iron Tiger going into the year. Mekhi Wingo did. So you ain't going to outwork Mekhi Wingo. How about Charles Turner, most improved player on offense? Absolutely agree with that. A guy that we thought, again, that's probably the wildest development of the season, is that he could go all of camp without starting, and then immediately after one game, and he had kind of a salty tweet after that Florida State game. It was something along the lines of like the truth will come out, or we will see. It was something mad, basically like, I think I should be playing him, I'm not. Rarely are those tweets backed up. But no, Charles Turner was right. He should have been playing, and he was not. And he ends up now as your most improved player on offense. Micah Baskerville, who we've many times called the heart and soul of this defense, is most improved player on defense. BJ Ojulari won the award, the George M. Wallace Award, which is given to those who distinguish themselves by performance, leadership, and commitment to the team. Again, shout out to BJ. I feel bad because I feel like his time at LSU will kind of be lost to time. Because, and it's really anybody who committed in 2020 and came in that class, I've got massive respect for you because you got dealt an awful hand in multiple ways. First off, from a program standpoint, you committed to something and then you arrive and it's not actually that thing that you committed to at all. And then that's not even getting into COVID, everything that did from a workout standpoint, from a season standpoint, from no crowd standpoint, like just a brutal year, especially at LSU with everything that happened to start your tenure. And so credit to BJ Ojulari sticking around, become one of the best players on the team, remaining commitment, and now winning the SEC West, even though, again, over time, that will probably kind of be forgotten in a lot of ways.
I think you're exactly right. That's a player that's going to play in the NFL for a long time. He's a player that, a lot of people were excited about when he signed with LSU. His brother played at Georgia. You didn't think you had a chance. He comes here. He's not only a great player on the field, he's an amazing young man off the field. I hope he doesn't get forgotten, and I completely understand what you're saying. I can tell you, I'm proud to have him in the club of number 18s.
That's true, and that probably actually immortalizes him a bit for sure, actually. But yeah,
if you came in 2020 though, T, you're right. I mean, you had a 500 season, a losing season, and then a new coaching staff, and it was good for them to be able to go to an SEC championship game. But usually in the last 2 decades, a 3-year span for someone signing with LSU, you have more success in that, certainly.
Yeah, he took the road less traveled, and he kind of suffered for it, right? He could have followed his E's to Georgia. He was a real one. There's a great story in 2019 about him going to the LSU-Georgia SEC championship game, sitting in the Georgia section and wearing his LSU hat. That is some true brotherly rivalry right there. No surprise here, but freshman Will Campbell named lineman of the year. Shout out. Ali Gay won the Butch Dewey Award, which goes to the player whose character and contributions most personify the idea of unselfishness, dependability, and commitment to the team. Ali Gay may not have been the most dominant this year, and he did flash at times. He improved as the season went on. But sometimes I do think we undervalue maybe we definitely undervalued his leadership, but just more in general, right? Sometimes we don't always look at, the full impact that a guy may be having on the team, even if he's not getting all the TFLs, forcing all the fumbles like Harold Perkins and other. Ali Gay was obviously a very core foundational member of this team. You had Jared Bernard Converse named back of the year, and Jay Bramblett named special teams player of the year. Josh Williams, offensive player of the year. How about it, dude?
Yeah, he's a player that fixed a lot of issues, right? He was kind of the fixer. If they needed somebody in there third down to pick up a blitzer, if they needed somebody to pick up a yard, if they needed a play, he was typically the guy that they went to. And he had some stretches where, I mean, he was the best player in the field at times. I mean, I truly believe that. And, plays like when Jaden scored against Alabama in overtime and the block that he had, like those don't show up on the stat sheet.
True.
But you and I obviously noticed those. And he's a player that made plays like that all season long, so very well deserved for him.
And Harold Perkins was defensive player of the year. Jaden Daniels was your Charles McClendon MVP of the LSU football team. It's interesting then that we're having conversations about that. It's interesting then that a lot of the fan base is kind of calling for him to go because they want the next generation to get a chance. I guess I'll ask you 2 things, Jake. First off, do you think Jaden Daniels returns for another year? I mean, practice started yesterday.
It did. He's in the most in between that you can be in, right? Because you look at draft boards and it's like 2nd, 3rd round grade, and you certainly could go and you could be on an NFL roster and have an opportunity to go out there and play. But if you come back, you could potentially be a 1st rounder. Like he is in that ultimate purgatory of right where you go or stay. And so it's going to be a decision for him. I can certainly see him coming back, T. It wouldn't be a shock. It would not be a surprise to me.
Do you personally think gives LSU the best chance to succeed?
Well, I think best for LSU, for him to come back, have another year in this offense and another year to grow.
Yeah.
And another year with really good talent on the outside. Kayshawn coming back, like that's a big boost for Jaden Daniels coming back, in my opinion.
Well, I think it needs to be, right? Like Jaden Daniels has one area that he obviously that he needs to work on, and that is trusting the receivers more, pushing the ball downfield more, attacking the middle of the field more. And I do kind of like having a quarterback where there is a very clear issue to work on. Like everything that he already does well. Okay, well now let's work on what we don't do well. You have a large sample size. So I just kind of assumed he was coming back, though. You think it's a little up in the air still?
I think it could be. I mean, when you look at the big boards, he's anywhere from 5 or 6. So I've seen even as high as 4 as far as quarterbacks available in this draft. But I think him coming back and having a big year at a place like LSU could easily get him in that conversation of being a top 3 quarterback. And I know a lot of people might roll their eyes at that. I truly believe with what he showed that he can do, if he can consistently, like if he played like he did in the middle portion of the season, for the entire season, I mean, we're talking about a pretty special year. And if he works on those things that we talked about, which he did in the middle of the year at times last year, like the Tennessee game didn't look like the Ole Miss game, didn't look like the Alabama game. And so I think him coming back would benefit him. And, LSU fans, obviously, it's been a conversation, like, where do you want to go at the quarterback position? But I think he gives you a great chance to win.
Well, he was the MVP of the team this year.
Yeah,
which would be a good sign in the coach staff for him.
I hope they've upgraded that award. When I won that, it was a watch that didn't even fit.
Yeah, Will Blackwell won Offensive MVP in 2011. He got the watch as well.
Oh, so like the McClendon watch, it's like it was the smallest watch face that I'd ever seen, and I tried to put it on, and it didn't even.
It looks like they gave all the guys just like pieces of the aggro crag.
Well, see, I'd much rather that.
It actually looks like it's kind of tight.
I would much rather that.
Well, you should have been like me and been a 2-time winner of the Jeff Boss Unsung Hero Award, which is, you want to talk about a glue guy award. Like, you were pretty good, but not like that good, but like good enough to get recognized. Yeah. So I got them as nice little bookends or badass little tiger heads. Little tiger head pillars.
I have one of those.
Oh, okay.
But at the time when I won it, it was the Bingle Bells Unsung Hero Award.
No,
I won that my
cooler
junior
with
year.
Jeff Boss.
Yeah.
His name being a
shout out Bingle Bells. We love you, but Jeff Boss is
the legend.
GOAT. He's a legend.
I wore Boss Sharks my entire life. All right, so that's your little LSU football talk, little awards. You can circle back around it, but right now let's go to Kim Mulkey. We're talking an hour early this week here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% with 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Now in his 7th college football season, Lindsey Scott Jr. joins us, and we'll preview Pels at Jazz, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Very appropriate that we would be singing about a few of our favorite things because we're about to talk to our favorite coach, and that is Coach Kim Mulkey, head coach of the LSU women's basketball team. Coach, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining us early today. I know you got practice here in about 25. We will not keep you too long. How are we feeling this morning?
Well, we're feeling great, and, it's probably holiday season for a lot of people, but we got to get up early, and we got to go to work today. We've got an 8 o'clock practice and play Lamar tomorrow, and then we got a tough life after Lamar. We get to get on a plane at 4 in the morning or get in a bus at 4 and head to the airport and go to Maui.
Yes. Okay, so already been to the Bahamas, now Maui, early season basketball. Let's go. Very fun. Okay, so Lamar tomorrow, and of course UNO's game on Sunday was canceled. Coach, has the team been itching to get back out there? And I know it's odd, right? Because undefeated, dominant, 11th in the country. But the last couple of games have been significantly closer than any other game. You don't get the chance to get back out there on Sunday. How motivated is this team to kind of to get back on the court?
Well, we replaced an inter-squad scrimmage for the UNO game, and I can tell you they'd much rather be playing had been playing UNO. It gets kind of ugly out there when they go against each other, but we needed to get up and down the court. We needed to keep ourselves in the flow of having, a game-like situation. So they're ready to play. Playing tough games doesn't bother us. I tell people this all the time. I don't get misled by being 11-0. Don't get misled by being ranked. Guys, we're a work in progress. And, we've got tough games ahead of us. If you think about the games that lie before us, we got Lamar, who took Arkansas to the fourth quarter and played them pretty tight. Then we go to Maui. While that's a great trip, fun trip, we'll do some fun things. We've got our hands full with Montana State and Oregon State. And then you take a little Christmas break.
Yeah.
We open up on the road at Arkansas, who is undefeated and ranked now. So it's not like we don't have some tough games right here during the holiday season and right after Christmas.
Coach, what's that travel going to be like going all the way to Hawaii? I know you've already gone to the Bahamas. Obviously, that's a different trip. But going out to Hawaii, getting ready for 2 games like you mentioned that are going to be tougher games for you. Obviously, you've done this a ton of times in your career as far as traveling and how to handle it. But what's that going to be like going out to Hawaii?
Well, my approach is going to be we need to play Oregon State. We need to play Montana State. It doesn't matter what the outcome of the game is. We need tougher competition. As I've said many times, guys, this schedule was done before we had all the transfers in here. Yeah. And I would have sprinkled it with 1 or 2 top 25 teams had we known the team that we were going to have. We need to see who we are. We need to grow. We need to, do all those things. Now, it would be a different approach if we were playing here in Baton Rouge versus, getting off an 8-hour flight and having to get our legs back under us and go to the beach and eat a little pineapple and, get the lei put on your neck when you get there. But we're certainly going to let people on our, that are going to be with our entourage enjoy that. But we seriously, Oregon State 6'9", 6'5" in the paint. They took Oregon, who's 15th in the country. They took them down to the wire this week. They're good. They're good, and it's okay. We need to go and we need to play.
So it's interesting. You mentioned sprinkling in top 25 teams. Well, you're still getting that top 25 team, but as you said, it comes at an interesting time. You go to Maui, you have those 2 tough games, then you have a Christmas break, and then on the 29th, you got to come back after the holiday season and immediately hit the ground running, like you said, on the road in Arkansas, 2 top 25 teams clashing. How do you handle that Christmas break? Like, how long do the players get off? How do you make sure that no rust appears during those 10, 11, 12 days?
Well, see, you guys are athletes. You played, and that is exactly my biggest concern. I am big on allowing young people to go home for Christmas. I think it's the most important time of the year. You need to be with your families. I've always been that way. And we've always had an opportunity after Christmas break to play a non-conference game to get you ready for conference. We don't have that on the schedule. We have to immediately start conference on the road against the top 25 team. It's not ideal because I know, we both went home for Christmas break and we didn't touch a ball. And so when they come back, that is a concern. That is a concern. We will get back on the 26th. Some will probably have to fly in on Christmas Day to be back for practice on the 26th. Nonetheless, as soon as we're done with we're done with Oregon State, they get to leave.
Okay.
They get to go home. So they've got a good break. I want them to have a good break, but I am concerned about conditioning and all those things.
Yeah, and then you talk about it. You're traveling 8 hours, you're playing in Hawaii, and then you're coming back and you're trying to figure out exactly how to handle things. Now, Coach, for you, are you going to enjoy a day or two for the holiday season? Because I have to imagine you're going to be trying to watch some tape on Arkansas as well. But will you be able to relax and enjoy Christmas with the family?
As much as I ever know how to. I mean, this is all I've ever known. I will fly from Maui. Actually, I will spend an extra day in Maui when the kids all fly home because my family will be with me, grandkids included. So we're going to, after the games, we're going to stay. And then we will fly back to Waco because the kids, Santa Claus comes there. So I will go there and spend time with them, and then I'll drive back to Baton Rouge.
I mean, a crazy schedule, but it is interesting, Coach. I mean, I guess, your entire life, this has been your Christmas, no?
Always. And I told somebody the other day, I said, this holiday stuff is wonderful, but I don't get to celebrate it like everybody else. Yeah. You have 2 days here. You have, Thanksgiving we're playing somewhere, so you spend your Thanksgiving with the team, and then Christmas comes, and that's why I'm so adamant about them being able to go home for Christmas. I just have always believed it was important. It was a break for me when I was a player. And yet we have to understand what comes with that break is coming back. And I will worry, on Christmas Day, about all of them getting back to school safely. Yep. And then during the break, I won't call them, but I'll be like on our strength and conditioning coach. Have you checked in with them? Have they gotten up? Are they outside jogging just a little bit? Knowing that it's not going to be anything like you would like. And I'm okay with it. I just have to bite my tongue sometimes when we come back from the break and holler, man, some of you ate a lot of turkey and dressing.
Yes. Coach, that's great. Last one before we let you go. We know you have practice coming up in a couple of minutes. And so in football, you have these analysts now. And these analysts, they start to prepare for future opponents down the road. Like if you're in non-conference, they start watching film and game planning for conference foes. Is that how y'all handle it? Like will you have someone that's maybe watching Arkansas, watching some of these first couple of SEC games that you have coming up on the schedule, maybe getting an idea of what Vanderbilt can do? You have them on New Year's Day. Do you plan ahead that much in basketball?
Well, you plan ahead, but you also focus on the immediate. we today will obviously stop, guard Lamar, go over we've already gone over the scouting report with them, but you will do more on the floor. Now, what we will also do is we will do some drills, and especially on the defensive end of the floor on Oregon State bigs, how you were going to guard the high-low with 6'9" in the paint and 6'5" in there, and tell them this is what we're planning for, because when we get to Maui, we don't know how much time we're going to have in a practice session. Will we have enough? Is an hour and a half enough? Is it 2 hours? And you just kind of do a little bit preparing for the opponents you're going to play, and sometimes we don't even tell them why we're doing that particular drill.
Coach Kim Mulkey, the absolute best, coming up tomorrow night back in the PMAC against Lamar, then heading out to Maui, and then it's SEC play. Coach, thank you so much for waking up with us. Y'all travel safe, have fun, and kick ass.
Hey, guys, have a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And remember, little ones, when you watch them open presents, take lots of pictures, lots of videos, because there's going to come a day when they're not there. Y'all enjoy every minute of the growth of your children. Have a merry one, guys.
Have a Merry Christmas,
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely. Always leaves us with a wonderful, wise life nugget, I feel like, at the end. Coach Kim Mulkey, the legend.
I like catching up with her as many times as we have, but really over the last probably 3 times we've had her, I've really picked up on her explaining how it's not important to be undefeated, it's important to get better.
Yeah.
And I truly feel that from her, because a lot of coaches, they want to win every single game, and she does too, but she understands the importance of working and continuing to get better in certain aspects of the game, because if you're 25-5, but you're a better team because of it, that's better than being 30-0 and not, fixing the issues that you had.
It's very similar in many ways to what BK always talks about, process over results, right? And imagine that. They're both some of the best coaches in their respective businesses, huh? A little common denominator there. All right, let's close out hour 1 of OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get it done by joining the G Team. That's right, Gordon McKernan, the Gordfather of NIL. But look, it's not just about him kind of leading the charge with LSU athletics and trying to rally the troops and get some more NIL support so these kids have options and can take advantage of their talents. It's, at the end of the day, it's about working for you and all of your personal injury attorney needs. And that's why if you call 225-888-8888 or 318-888-8888, I think I did too many. You get the point. Just do the area code, and then it takes. Very easy. You get it done with Gordon at Get Gordon on all social media.
GetGordon.com is the website. T-Bob gave you the handle there, at GetGordon on Instagram, on Facebook. You'll find all the information that we tell you about every single day, and T-Bob's right. 225-318, doesn't matter. That number, 888-8888, GetGordon.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba.
Join me, Jimmy, out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Is the right time to listen to OTB. That's right, it's the holidays. You ready for said holidays with some sports talk? You know who else is ready for the holidays and is very good at sports? The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
It's weird. Philly, you think about like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You think about Philly throwing batteries at J.D. Drew. Wasn't it J.D. Drew back in the day? How about that?
J.D. Drew.
How's that for a pull? I knew
Good
you'd
for
appreciate
you.
that. I knew you'd appreciate that.
Good for you.
But throwing batteries, right? A place that has booed Santa Claus. They have somehow created one of the most likable football teams. I hate to say it because the Saints have suffered directly at their hands. The Saints have propped them up almost to the point of it being malfeasance or conspiracy. And yet, I love Jason Kelly. I love Jason Kelsey. I actually love Jalen Hurts, even though he went to Alabama. I like how everybody doubted him and told him he sucked and he couldn't be quarterback in the NFL. Now he's dominant.
Yeah.
I love his leadership. I love C.D. Deuce. Who doesn't love C.D. Deuce? I got to watch him play here in New Orleans. And now I've fallen in love with the entire Eagles offensive line. Here is the Eagles O-line recording a Christmas album set to come out on the 23rd called A Philly Special, a little shout out to Super Bowl, A Philly Special Christmas.
May your days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I said, I am dreaming of the white Christmas, just like the one I used to know. Where those treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Merry Christmas, Philly.
Bro, who is it? It has to be.
That's the left tackle.
That's Jordan Mailata. How do you pronounce his name? Mailata. It's Jordan Mailata right there. Wait, what's his story again?
Like didn't play football.
Yeah, he's got some interesting he was just like a giant, and then he's like, oh, I think I'll try this football thing. I'm gonna look it up. Bro, he killed that. That was damn. God, I got goosebumps. You could see too if you're watching the video on YouTube. You could see Jason Kelsey immediately just start dying laughing when he came in there hitting them notes. So.
You saw somebody like a producer, somebody put it together too, and he hit it, got excited, like, okay, didn't know you had that.
Yes, dude.
Caroling is fun. It's just a fun activity.
It is fun. I catch myself. I'm like doing dishes. I'm walking around the house. Anything I'm doing, I'm just constantly singing Christmas songs to myself. He is 6'8", 365 pounds. The man that you just heard, the man that you just heard, was 6'8", 365 pounds. 7th round pick in 2018.
Yep. Just had a massive extension.
Yeah.
Yep. Jalen Hurts laughing at every person that told him he wasn't an NFL quarterback. Might win the MVP.
Yeah.
Okay, Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting here. It is a rugby history. So we'll get to that. Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com. Weather change is coming, folks, okay? So you want to make sure your heater and everything's good to go. You want to go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge. Take control of your comfort zone, okay? Whether you want to upgrade your system, like by getting a new, digital thermostat and all that kind of stuff. They have all the latest tech they can do. Or if you just want to check up, make sure your system's good to go. Maybe you want to join the Star Club membership. Whatever you do with Accutemp, what you're going to experience is service to the highest degree, okay? Look at the online reviews. It's not just me saying that. Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge today.
Yeah, you can go to the website that T-Bob just gave you. Remember, a chat's going to pop right up on the homepage. So if you're at work, you can't get to the phone, you can't call them, you can do everything from the website. But if you want to pick up the phone and give them a call, 225-351-6708. That is the number. Always online again at AccutempBR.com.
Thank you, Acadiana, for over 55 years of allowing Corval Toyota in Opelousas to take care of you and your automotive needs. Enjoy this holiday season with family and friends. From the Corval Toyota family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Tuesday, November 13th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge. Expect cloudy skies with a high of 77. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of OTB Mailbag, so get your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, and we'll get them answered. We also talk Saints with Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN. Or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
What's going on, you all? Welcome back to hour 2 of OTB. So a bit of a sad breaking news to start this hour, as what many have feared is now made official, as Mississippi State has put a press release out there saying the Mississippi State Bulldog family, college football community mourns the death of Coach Mike Leach. Mike Leach's family releasing a statement says, quote, Mike was a giving and attentive husband, father, and grandfather. He was able to participate in organ donation at UMMC as a final act of charity. We are supported and uplifted by the outpouring of love and prayers from family, friends, and Mississippi State University, the hospital staff, and football fans around the world. Thank you for sharing in the joy of our beloved husband and father's life. The president of Mississippi State, Mark E. Keenum, says, quote, Coach Mike Leach casts a tremendous shadow not just over Mississippi State University, but over the entire college football landscape. His innovative air raid offense changed the game. Mike's keen intellect and unvarnished candor made him one of the nation's true coaching legends. His passing brings great sadness to our university, to the SEC, and to all those who loved college football. I will miss Mike's profound curiosity, his honesty, and his wide-open approach to pursuing excellence in all things. Mike's death also underscores the fragility and uncertainty of our lives. 3 weeks ago, Mike and I were celebrating in the locker room after a hard-fought victory in Oxford. Mike Leach truly embraced life and lived in such a manner as to leave no regrets. It's a worthy legacy. May God bless the Leach family during these days and hours. The prayers of the Bulldog family go with him. Just 61 years old, the oldest of 6 siblings, and devastatingly, him and his wife Sharon he's survived by his wife Sharon and 4 children. Just terrible, man. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
That's young, man.
It's really young. 61, years old is way too young. We're talking about like our parents are all over and older than Coach Leach. And Coach Leach was always somebody that was very gracious with his time. Had the opportunity to speak with him and hold conversations with him. And not only me, whoever it was, it didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter who it was. Like, you could stop him and he was going to spend time talking to you.
It's one of the cooler parts, as there's been, a lot of personal anecdotes that people have been throwing out there about their experiences with Coach Leach. What you're touching on, Jake, seems to be one of the common denominators and common themes. That it didn't matter if you were just a random guy at practice, if you were some random staffer, if you were like, there's so many people that had some interaction with him where a quick hello turns into like an hour-long conversation that kind of blew their mind about running the gamut on all sorts of wonderful topics. And everybody that interacted with him, man, nobody has anything negative to say. He's left an unreal legacy. And like we talked about a bit yesterday, I love curious people. When you talk about some of the most intelligent people you'll meet, another common trait that a lot of them share is almost a childlike curiosity, where you can see something simple, and instead of just being like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You want to say, well, how does that happen? Why does that happen? And Mike Leach had that. And what I love, Jake, is he was one of those people that was intelligent enough where he could take philosophy and other avenues of study and life and things like military strategy, and he could apply them to football strategy and actually make them work. I mean, a tweet that I've always loved that he has pinned from a few years ago on his Twitter it says air raid offensive philosophy, and it's a quote from Sun Tzu in The Art of War. Yeah. And it says, if he, the enemy, is superior in strength, evade him. If his forces are united, separate them. Attack him where he is unprepared, appear where you are not expected. If that isn't the air raid to a T right there, creating the ability to punch up, to defeat enemies that are greater than you, I mean, it's unreal that he revolutionized the game. He was, like you said, like the statement said, a family man, and never thought, despite the fact that he had millions of dollars and he did revolutionize football and all that stuff, he never thought that he was better than anyone else. And it's just a truly sad day for everyone, especially the Mississippi State family. Not that this matters at all, but I do love that I don't know, maybe I'm dumb for liking this, but I do love the fact that he won that last big game, that he won the Egg Bowl, going out on top, beating a team that was supposed to be better than them in classic Mike Leach fashion.
Yeah, I mean, always a guy that always gave his teams an opportunity against teams that were supposed to win. And we've talked about this before. I saw them beat Chris Sims in number 2 Texas, and he just always at Texas Tech, Washington State, it didn't matter. He always had victories like that. Just so many great conversations. And I've talked to him about Japanese toilets for 20 minutes. At SEC Media Days, talked to him about why khakis were the superior pant, why they were better than blue jeans and dress pants, and why they were versatile, and why you should always have a cargo pocket on your pants if you can, because you can hold so many things in those pants. And just great conversations with him. He was a hell of a football coach as well. Somebody that he didn't have the huge poster board play sheet. He had a note card, and he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to be efficient in what they did, and they were for a very, very long time, right? We were talking about it earlier today with players. Sometimes you give somebody an 8-game sequence and they can figure you out by the 8th game. They're going to figure you out. Well, he had the air raid with him his entire career. Yeah. And you might figure it out, but he was going to figure you out eventually, and he was going to have a counterpunch to whatever you did for him, and it worked out for him for a very, very long time in multiple spots.
Yeah, it's I don't really know. It's weird, man. It's weird how some of these things hit closer to home than others, and for some reason, this one just feels really, really poorly. It's not like I didn't have a personal relationship with him. I'd certainly, but the most fun interview I ever got to do when I was at SC Media Days, he was actually in between jobs and he was working for Sirius.
Yeah, him and Childers, him and the Pony worked together.
It was awesome, dude. He had me rolling, dying, laughing. I'll never forget this too. The night before, Mississippi State whooped LSU's ass to start 2020 when he had that air raid and KJ Costello throwing for 600 on your head. I actually saw the team at the theater, and I'm just a big Mike Leach fan, so I wanted to go say what's up. And his mind was so sharp, Jake, that he actually remembered by name. He talked to me about being from Georgia. I was like, bro, how is it possible for you to be able to, it must have been almost borderline photographic, but whatever. We all know how intelligent he was. It was a hallmark. I mean, he's a guy who got a law degree and basically told his wife, look, do you want me to come home rich and miserable, or do you want me to come home poor and happy, right? And now he was so good at coaching that he ended up being rich and happy, which great for him and for his family, but just a brutal loss. And obviously, Especially around the holiday season, just devastating.
Yeah.
So continuing to pray and just send all the positive energy that we can to Mike Leach's family and friends and everybody that he's touched over the years. Unreal, man. Look, there's no great way to transition from this, so I'm not going to go to an immediate topic right now. Let's go ahead and take an early break. On the other side, we will do a little OTB mailbag if you want to get your questions in there. Rest in peace to a legend. More OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu. You want to change your life, man. You want to get that career started, right? Maybe you feel like you're at a dead end. You feel a bit stuck. Well, ITI is the answer for you. In just 2 years, you can get that AOS degree. That's a degree that's going to prepare you for careers relevant to Louisiana industry. Then, after you graduate in those 2 years, Jake, they can actually assist you in getting those jobs. Look, life is fragile, right? Like seize the moment. If you want to change your life for the better, the local family-owned ITI Technical College is here for you.
ITIcollege.edu is the number. I always encourage you to pick up the phone, though. Give admissions a call. Let them know what you're looking to do. Remember, they'll work with your schedule. Even if you have something going on full-time, day and night courses available. Fridays are off over at ITI College. So call that number today, 877-591-1070.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime. There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR,
presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Now in his 7th college football season, Lindsey Scott Jr. joins us and will preview Pels at Jazz 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The mood is right, the spirit's up. We're here tonight, and that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I like this story from Mine Not For Rent in the Bayou YouTube chat. He says, Lincoln Riley has a great story. Working late, Leach gets a call on his old flip phone. Talks for an hour. Call drops. Leach calls the person back. They continue to talk. He later hangs up. Lincoln Riley asks who it was, and Leach says it was a wrong number. So it's exactly what we were just talking about, a wrong number that his natural curiosity turns into an hour-long conversation. Jake, do you have a favorite Mike Leach game? I do, for sure.
A favorite Mike Leach game? It'd have to be the one that I was at and I mentioned earlier. Chris Sims in Texas. They were, the big talk of the town, and Texas Tech had Cliff Kingsbury. They had Wes Welker, and they had some really good players on that team. One of my high school teammates, Thomas Bachman, who's now the coach at Ash in Alexandria, was on that team as well. And so we go to the game, and, Wes and Cliff just put on a clinic, like an absolute clinic, and they couldn't figure it out. And Wes was routing people up left and right, and Texas Tech was undersized. They were a step slower, but it didn't matter, And then, of course, they get the upset, and the tortillas start going on the field. And, at that point, I think I was either a sophomore or junior in high school. A junior, because I played with Thomas when I was a sophomore. So I'd never really seen, anything like that. Like tortillas being, you don't do that in Death Valley, like tortillas. But it was cool. It was an upset, and they rushed the field, and it was a great experience.
To me, it's the Michael Crabtree game. What I didn't realize, I looked it up during the break, right? I remember Texas being very good. I didn't realize Texas Tech was 7th in the country at that game. That was a 1v7 matchup. Texas was number 1 overall. Texas Tech 7, and I'll just never forget. I remember exactly where I was. It was in Toledo Bend, and I was watching the game, and I was mind blown when Crabtree pulled down that ball on the sideline. Graham Harrell throwing it to him and found a way to get in the end zone. Just look at the impact. Look at where all those guys went on to be. Cliff Kingsbury's an NFL head coach. What's Graham Harrell? Where's he OC at now? He was at USC.
Was he at West Virginia last year?
I don't know, but the point is, Mike Leach's tendrils and students are all throughout football on every single level. All right, let's dive in.
Yeah, West Virginia.
Okay, right on, dude. Let's dive into a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
Survive623 says, #OTB mailbag. If it snows for Christmas, are you staying home or getting out there to visit family? Take the snow out of it because it's not going to snow, right? But Christmas Day, are you for Christmases, we got to go visit all the different families, or are you chilling at home?
We are the house that everyone comes to because we don't have relatives here in Baton Rouge as far as grandparents and stuff. So Katie's family, we did Thanksgiving up in Shreveport. Katie's family comes to Baton Rouge from California, Colorado, and Florida.
Boys, back there, what are you doing?
Probably just chilling.
Are you going to go to your parents, or you're not just going to sit at home with Danny, are you?
Look at the group text. He would say yes, but no, I would stay with family.
Okay.
Yeah, immediate family. I don't have a big family, so my parents' house.
Hell yeah, man. No, I now that I have kids and everything, father of 3, not to brag. I ain't going nowhere, and I don't want any of y'all coming over.
Oh, really?
If my old man wants and my sister,
that upsets me a little bit.
If they want to come by for the day, come on over for a couple.
But
of hours.
I guess for me, that's why I have a big family. There's nothing better than having the big family all together for a massive holiday and chaos around.
We do that just not on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, I don't know why. In my family, it's always been like Christmas. We do the big grandparent day for both sides, blah, blah, but Christmas Day has always been shut it down. It's just the immediate family, chilling, PJs, playing with toys, whatever, all day long. I love it.
Hey, to each your own. Not going to
So
judge.
much.
By the way, because I'll forget, Cliff Kingsbury, the day I'm talking about, I thought he had a big day. He threw for 473 and six tutters.
Wow.
Against the number 3 team in the country, Texas.
Damn, dude. Joey LeBlanc says 1% chance of snow Saturday. Oh, that'd be so sick, dude.
1%?
Yeah. So you're saying?
There's a chance.
Oh, wait. Joey LeBlanc saying 27 low right now on Christmas Eve and a 55% chance of rain.
Sign me up for all of that.
Bruh.
Like, there's not, like,
oh my
Christmas should be cold.
I know.
Christmas should be frigid, in fact, and you should have a fire going, and you should be in, like, a onesie, a Coors Light onesie if you have one. Probably don't, but we do.
Coors Light onesie. I agree. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. What color lights are on your tree? Multicolor, warm white, or cool white?
Warm white. Don't bring anything outside of warm white into the Hester household. Katie Hester will get it out.
I can see Katie's aesthetic not being down for the rainbow lights.
Yeah, not down for
it. I have lights that you can just press the button and change, right?
Can't have money.
Yeah, man. Those LED Christmas lights don't play, man. That's like, that's like $30.
Exactly.
But
I always want.
But
I've
my
always
kids love
wanted
the rainbow, so we go rainbow.
Yeah,
my wife would want it warm white,
right?
But we go rainbow.
Yeah, Katie lets them do whatever they want in their room. Like Hudson is like a little engineer, and he's got red lights under his bed that kind of like illuminate under his bed. They've got their own tree, and so they love to do it big. One day, we'll get some blue Christmas lights on the outside, like Graceland.
He's got the under. Oh, is that what they do over there?
Yeah.
He's got the underbed lighting, like Fast and Furious, like when people used to put it on their like Honda Civic. They have like green underglow.
Or Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, or Toyota Corolla.
Mm-hmm. All-Star Toyota batteries.com.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying. You can do it.
You want to trick out
yes,
a
he
Camry
does.
or something? Go for it.
Yeah, it's like Pimp My Ride. He's got the red lights under the bed.
Now on the outside of the house, it's all just warm white. Everything in the trees, on the trim, all that, bushes. Hashtag what? Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Do y'all have a favorite Christmas ornament?
Favorite Christmas ornament?
I like the balls that are easily breakable. Those look nice. Like the
Weird
traditional
answer.
bulbs.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but you like don't have one. They look nice, so you don't have like. The idea of the nice-looking breakable balls is your favorite Christmas ornament. You don't actually have an ornament that you like.
It's at my parents' house on their tree. We should put it on me and Danny's tree at the apartment.
Okay. Taylor, what about you?
Growing up, my parents got like a animated version of me playing Little League football for like my first team or whatever. It had like my name and number, so I always thought that was cool.
Damn, dude. What the hell was... What animated how? Like...
It was a ceramic guy with blonde hair. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't anything special.
Oh no! You made it sound like it was like an LED screen.
No,
with
like just a ceramic.
Animation. Oh, okay, yeah. I see. Jake, what about you?
What was the question?
Favorite Christmas ornament?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it. Like anything that the boys do for school. Like I'm a sucker for stuff like that. Like great memories of when they were in kindergarten, and then now like Jackson having a kindergarten one, and I get a chance to see him. As a younger fellow. Like I always love those. Now I've got a couple of old school Elvis ornaments that my grandmother gifted me. Those are always fun. But it's like for me, it's like the kids stuff that they do. It's not the best looking, but I like looking back at the age.
We used to always get one ornament a year, and I used to love it so much. And I got some cool ones. I got like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader battling, but by far, I got a bunch of sports ones.
Do you?
Like I got King Griffey right after he hits a home run, like doing a
I've
little
seen
walk.
like the Hallmark ones.
I got Michael Vick on the run. I got Brett Favre. I got Elway.
Vick and Falcon Jr.
Yep.
I
But
bet you love that one,
the best is I got Orlando. What's that mean? It's not even Orlando Magic Shaq. It's just the Magic colors. But I guess they couldn't get the license. But I got Shaq doing the two-handed legs pulled up.
I know exactly what
slam
you're talking about.
On the backboard, and it hangs at the top of the tree, and it looks so tight. Dude.
I thought for some reason that one is. I've seen that one. That one's fantastic. I thought the way you set that up, you're going to be like, I've got this sweet Orlando Pace one.
No, that'd be sick.
That nobody had.
That's what I thought you were going to say, too.
I don't know why I thought I was going to say Orlando Pace.
Orlando Pace was a dog back in the day.
He almost won the Heisman.
I don't think I've ever had a starting lineup O-lineman or anything. The closest I got when McFarland made those really nice NFL player toys, I got a Warren Sapp. That was pretty sick. I also had an All-Star, Edgerrin James.
They had a Kyle Turley one.
Oh, what?
They did.
Damn, that would have been tight.
Mm-hmm.
OTB Mailbag. What will it take to get Jake to join the Hoka gang? You saw them whites, huh? They're cool now, apparently.
Oh, they are like all the college kids that. I mean, look, y'all know me. I don't do it because like college kids wear New Balances. That ain't me, which is fine. It's just that's not me. They'd have to come a long way. They're getting better.
Okay.
They're getting better.
Oh, the door is open.
They're getting better. The ones that T-Bob wears, the Miami Dolphin ones.
I did not buy those for style. I bought them for utility.
But now they're becoming style.
Well, I don't think those are stylish. So like those white ones that we were looking at, those are pretty nice. Hashtag OTB Mailbag, favorite Christmas treat.
So I've been sending Katie. She's probably like, if you send me another one of these, the algorithm on Instagram knows me far too well. You know the little Christmas tree snacks, the white ones, Little Debbie's?
Yeah.
I mean, I will smash like 3 of those.
Hell yeah.
People like have been mixing those up and making like cake pops and like all this different stuff with those.
Okay.
And I know it is redneck. Y'all know them. That's kind of my thing. I will smash 3 of those like right now.
We call it coffee cake, but we do monkey bread on Christmas Day every year, and it's the only time we do it. Love it.
Does eggnog count as a treat?
Yeah.
Eggnog is definitely my favorite treat. Jim Beam kind.
Okay, so with alcohol.
Yeah, with
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Hashtag OGB Mailbag, favorite childhood Christmas toy. For me, it was the old Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah,
vibrating.
My brother.
Football
That was my brother. You and my
stadium.
brother, the same person, pretty much.
I
My older
had
brother.
that vibrating Monday Night Football stadium, and it was so sick, dude. I remember waking up, and it was all set up, and I played with that thing forever. And also, my dad had all of the teams from, like, the 60s still that he had saved from when he was a kid, so that was pretty sick. Still got them, actually.
One Christmas, I got the Deion Sanders Nikes, which that went a long way with me. Was very fired up about that. I had to pull up a picture of those. They came back, and they're popular again. So that was a big one. But as far as like a toy, I had a Huffy bike that had a radio attached to it. Oh, nice. And you could listen to the radio as you were driving your bike. And like now kids are like, just put in your AirPods or that'd be easy. It was not easy back in like 1989. No. And so the Huffy bike that had the radio, you could pick up about 3 channels. But I remember jamming to some Brooks and Dunn as I'm going down Grassmere and Sunset Acres in Shreveport.
Oh, yeah.
Before I loved professional sports, I loved WWE, and I used to collect like the action figures of the wrestlers.
So much fun.
And I remember when I got the rings, I used to get so excited. Like
the rings were so sick,
my parents got me the Elimination Chamber one time. That was one of the most excited I ever was on a Christmas day.
I used to take the ring, and I would when I went to the pool, I would bring all my wrestling toys in the ring, and I'd put it on a float, like on a tube, and I'd have water matches. Where when you get thrown out, you get thrown in the shark-infested water. So I thought they should do that.
Y'all probably think I'm too young for LimeWire to remember that, but my earliest memories of LimeWire is pulling up the theme songs for all the wrestlers as the toys entered the ring.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's actually pretty funny, Mario.
I would download all the themes.
Taylor, what about you?
They used to have this red and black bike, and it was in the shape of like a Harley Davidson and had like the long black leather seat. And when I got that, I thought I was like the coolest person ever.
Hell yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Last one. Hashtag go to be mailbag. Real tree or fake, flocked or not? I'm a hardcore real tree guy. I'm not judging by the artificial. It's all good. I just love a real tree. I love watering it. I love taking care of it. And I don't flock, personally.
Growing up, we were real tree flocked.
Oh, wow.
Now we are fake tree flocked.
Oh, wow.
I believe. The real tree it comes with challenges. And the dog drinks the water, and the dog, just bites on the tree.
Well, so this is absolutely horrifyingly disgusting. But we, the Christmas trees, we have to get this certain kind. I think it's called like a Douglas fir. I don't know. It's one that has no scent. Because your traditional Christmas trees, they have that kind of piney smell. My cat would spray on it.
Yeah.
So the first year that we had the cat and a real tree like that, it just sprayed all over the tree, the presents, everything.
Like, especially male dogs would like
Disgusting.
try to lift their leg on a tree.
That's what I'm saying. So,
so
I haven't
basically.
run into that ever since I switched over, I believe, to the Douglas fir. I think that's which one it is.
Yeah.
But it's whatever your kind of scentless Christmas tree is, if you want a real one. All right, when we get back, let's talk to Jake Madison. Ooh, people are talking about KOTOR? Hell yeah, dude. Let's talk to Jake Madison about this New Orleans Pelicans team. Keep it locked off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com, DGBAuto.com. Donaldsville Glass and Body since 1977, been getting you right, man. Remember, any glass repair, they got you. Any collision repair, they got you. 24/7 towing. That's right, they got you. And the bottom line is that they just want to make sure that you are satisfied. They're not trying to take advantage of you, right? They want to get you back on the road safely, quickly, and affordably, because a happy customer is a repeat customer. And they're doing great, okay? So if you want somebody that you can trust, it's not going to cheat you, it's going to get you back on the road immediately, you want to go to Donaldsville Glass and Body.
DGBAuto.com, DGBAuto.com. No matter what your vehicle needs are, they're going to be met over at Donaldsville Glass and Body. The thing we tell you every single day, they're going to be transparent in that process as well, right? They're not going to surprise you with a huge bill. It's like $4,000. They're going to walk you through the process, tell you exactly what's wrong with your vehicle, what you need to get it back on the road, and what it's going to cost before they proceed with it. Donaldsville Glass and Body have been doing it since 1977. DGBAuto.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin.
Me, Jimmy out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, próspero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Him. Bob Barker turned 99 yesterday. Okay. Let's go to the phone lines. Jake Madison at NOLA Jake. Jake, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Happy to be on talking some hoops with you this morning.
Sorry, the reason why I looked a little taken back is that I just saw your text and I realized that I forgot to tell you video or audio. So thank you for being flexible and just hopping on, even though I have been sloppy. Thank you. Of course, Jake is the host the Locked On Pelicans podcast. You want your daily Pelicans fix. Jake, how many years you been hosting Locked On now?
It's like 6+, and it's over 1,400 episodes.
Wow. So the reason why I want to establish the bona fides here is because Jake has gone through it all, right? Jake's actually the one who originally got me into the Pelicans back around 2015, 16, when I went to work at WWL, and he had some season tickets. They were very cheap at the time because nobody gave a damn, and he had extra tickets, so we would go all the time, and that's kind of where I started to fall in love with the NBA again and with this team again. And, Jake, you've been through a lot of bad. So what does it feel like now to be covering a team, first place in the Western Conference, and just smack down the number 2 team in a packed-out blender twice in one weekend?
Yeah, look, it's pretty fun just from a personal standpoint here, being in the building that's not empty, that's filled with people, and New Orleans just really understanding that this team seems to be special right now and wants to get out and show out. So it's fun to cover good basketball after, look, I think I had to try and make Christian Wood sound like an all-star for 20, 30 games or so after the Anthony Davis trade request. Kind of been through it all, so it's nice to focus on the basketball on the court, this team winning, and doing it really well and in a really fun way, too.
And also, Jake, doing it with a team that feels like they are playing for each other. They're doing it in an unselfish manner. You've got a bench that knows the role, understands their role, thrives in the role. It's really been the key portion of what we've talked about with the Pelicans. They certainly have stars, but to me, the difference in this team is the bench and the bench players when they coming in with a purpose.
Yeah, look, this is a team that's on a 7-game winning streak right now, and they are missing 2 of their starters. Brandon Ingram, who's the second-best player on the team, a former All-Star, hasn't played during this run. Herb Jones, their best perimeter defender, has been out, and they're still finding ways to beat teams and really good teams, too, to solidify themselves at the top of the Western Conference, and that's been one of the more impressive things. As you mentioned, it's the depth. It's these role players just playing their role to perfection and having a bit of a next-man-up mentality. I think the Pelicans are easily the deepest team in the league, but they're not filled with guys that would start on other teams. Trey Murphy might start. Larry Nance Jr. may start on some other teams, but Najee Marshall, who's been key during this run, wouldn't start. Jose Alvarado wouldn't start on most teams. Yet these guys are kind of punching above their weight, I think, because they really understand their role and they work well with kind of the engine that makes everything go in Zion Williamson. And it's a big credit to Willie Green and the coaching staff for having these guys ready, knowing that at some point their numbers would be called so that they could get out there and perform and exceed their expectations. And that's a big reason why this team is, 7-0 right now.
Yeah, and at dinner, as you know, you talk about Brandon Ingram being the second best player on the team, and that's something, Jake, that I don't know. I mean, a month ago, I don't know if I would have said that, but it does look clear now that Zion Williamson is ascending to MVP sorts of levels. What's been your biggest takeaway from this rise of Zion, this kind of fulfilling of the incredible potential.
Yeah, I mean, you see the vision that David Griffin has had for a number of years now and hasn't been able to kind of have it come to fruition. But you're seeing kind of Point Zion right now. We saw some glimpses of it during Stan Van Gundy's tenure, but they've really embraced it at another level over these 7 games, really past 2-3 weeks, where you get the ball in his hands at the top of the 3-point line and just let him do his thing. When he gets going downhill like that, no one is stopping that freight train. And it allows him to have different ways to finish at the rim, different ways to score. He just won the NBA's Player of the Week after putting up 70 points in 2 games against the Phoenix Suns and shooting a ridiculous 70% from the field. Only 6 of those 70 points came from outside of the paint. And you can even go back to that Toronto game where he dunked over 5 Raptors, and the photo looks staged where they're all just looking up at him, throwing down a dunk. But he went through 5 defenders to be able to do that. And against the Phoenix Suns, Monty Williams, their head coach, would take all 5 defenders and put them on the side of the court that Zion was on. If you split that court down the middle, one side would have no Phoenix Suns players on it defensively because they were so worried about trying to stop Zion, and they still weren't able to do it. And then he does have really good vision. He's a very good passer. So when you put him at the top of the 3-point line, he goes downhill. He can pass to his left. He can pass to his right. He can pass to a cutter. And it just opens things up so much more for him. I think for the first part of the season, he struggled a little bit. This was a guy who hadn't played competitive basketball in a year and a half, a little bit longer than that. It was 500-something days. So he just needed to find kind of his touch around the rim back. He needed to kind of get up to game speed, seeing how quickly everything moved, and get acclimated to that. And now that he has, he's got to be in the MVP conversation at this point. The Pelicans are one of the best teams in the league. He's putting up MVP-esque numbers. And he's also got the strong narrative, I think, to go with that, coming back from the injury last year, too. So you've seen that this is really his team. And when Brandon Ingram comes back, he's going to be the second-best player, and that's not a bad thing to be. But he's going to have to kind of work around Zion a little bit more so than maybe he did earlier on in the year.
So what about when, Jake, when Brandon Ingram's back? Somebody asked us in the chat yesterday, you know, are you at all worried about some of this momentum being just jilted a little bit? And you know, my mind is kind of like, I don't think you ever get worse if you add in a all-star caliber player. But do you see the same? Do you see any hurdles too when Ingram returns, trying to keep this thing going as it is right now? It seems to be operating so well.
Yeah, I think you'll see an adjustment period. I actually had Antonio Daniels on my podcast on today's episode, and he said the same thing. You know, you're getting a ball-dominant guy back, and you've got to kind of figure out how to reintegrate him in when you found some success that's working. So it might mean you have a game 2, 3 of adjustments that you need to try and kind of work through to try and figure out the rotation. And look, it might end up resulting in a loss and kind of kill a little bit of the momentum here in New Orleans. But overall, this is a really good problem to have. Any head coach in the league right now would love to figure out how to integrate a former All-Star back into their rotation, back onto their roster and in their lineup. This is something that they definitely will figure it out. We've seen Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram coexist out on a basketball court in Zion's second year when he was an All-Star, and Brandon Ingram put up the same numbers as his All-Star year. So I don't think this is going to really be a long-term problem. It'll just be kind of a short-term blip. One of the good things in the NBA is, you know, with your rotations is you can stagger your superstars. You can stagger your best players. So you might see them both start out. One subs out early. The other guy kind of gets going and leads the offense. Then you sub Zion back in and go back with a rotation and a lineup that has been working for you during this winning streak. So I trust Willie Green will be able to figure this out, but certainly there's going to be an adjustment period of a game or two.
Jake, I do want to go back to Zion for a little bit because I want to ask you about his mentality. Like, we know the skill set that he has, and you were talking about it earlier, and it's been on full display. But his mentality looks like it's changed, and changed for the better. It looks like he's got a little bit more dog in him. And that dunk the other night to end the game, some people didn't like it. I don't really care. I thought it was a great moment for him. I thought that was a moment in which he said, like, this is now the Zion that you're going to get for the rest of my career. And I know some of his older teammates like Devontae Graham's like, don't do it, like holding up the stop sign. I think it was important. I think it has unlocked something in Zion. And now you've got let's call it like it is, a pissed off Zion, someone that wants to go take your soul in these games. And I think it's going to bring out a different version of Zion.
You know, the way I referred to him this offseason was Zion 2.0. It's almost a reinvention, a reimagining of who he is as a person, I think. You know, in the offseason, And last year, it was really tough for him, not playing, all of the talk around him, the weight conversation, the people calling him soft, and everything that went on with all of that. And some of it, look, deservedly so, admittedly. But to be able to kind of handle all of that and have to deal with all of that and the constant pressure you're on takes a toll on you. So if you're able to come out the other side from that, you're going to come out more resilient. You're going to be stronger, particularly mentally. And I think you're seeing Zion do that. And it's also going to provide a lot of motivation to basically shut the haters up, I think. And I think that dunk that he did the other night was definitely a big part of that. And don't get me wrong, that had to be one of the most disrespectful things you could do in the NBA. And I absolutely loved it, which is, I think it's important for this team trying to send a message of, hey, we've arrived. Here's who we are. You don't want to mess with us.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what they're trying to say and kind of send that message to the league. And Zion's a big part of it. As you said, he's trying to steal souls out there. Yep. All of these guys are trying to do it. You have Trey Murphy trying to dunk on everyone right now. You have Larry Nance Jr. that is dunking on everyone right now. And you have this really fun team that's just got so much fight in them, so much energy in them that it's tough for other teams to match. And Zion's a really, really big part of that. And I think he wants to send a message to the league that says something like, hey, y'all forgot about me?
Yep.
That was a mistake. Look at me now.
Jake Madison at NOLA Jake on Twitter. Locked On Pelicans podcast, bringing you Pelican coverage every single day. Just retweeted his sit-down with Antonio Daniels from yesterday's episode. I guess it was released last night, actually, but a great listen each and every day. Jake, thank you so much, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Thanks, Jake is the best. Excited for the Jazz game tonight. A couple matchups in Utah. Utah, it looks like sneaky better than everybody thought they were going to be. We can get to it more a bit later on. Let's close out hour 2 next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Like Jake said, you want to get that Camry, trick it out, some purple and gold underglow, put some NOS in that thing. I don't think they can do the NOS or the underglow, but you can get the Camry.
Maybe.
There. It could, maybe the underglow.
You don't know until you ask.
Yeah, it's true. Ask if they can put NOS in your car. It's the only thing that can make my Sienna tighter. Would be if I could race for pinks and hit the button and go super fast.
If you had a button in the middle, you could slide it down.
Just don't go too early, okay? That's NOS rule number 1.
Too early, Dom.
Poor guy. Ended up getting it at the end. But the point is, you can get it as well in a positive way. Like get a new vehicle. Not get shot by a motorcycle gang. You can get a new vehicle by going to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com today.
Go to allstartoyota.com, buying, leasing, and renting. Don't forget about the rental process coming up for the holidays. Per day rental prices on the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Now in his 7th college football season, Lindsey Scott Jr. joins us, and we'll preview Pels at Jazz, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 11:30 The Tiger.
No way. Ooh, Christmas Vacation up here on the TVs behind me. I haven't watched Christmas Vacation yet, or Christmas Story. So far, I've checked off Bad Santa. I watched part of the night before I fell asleep one night.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple of the adult ones out of the way.
I watched Die Hard on the plane on the way back from
Nice.
Philly, so
Hell
I got
yeah.
that one out of the way.
Saturday night, I cleared out everything, and immediately when the kids went to bed, I dove back into my favorite Christmas movie of all time, It's a Wonderful Life. And every single year, it is a timeless tale about contentedness, empathy, doing good for others in your community, sacrificing self for the greater good. Tears of sadness, tears of happiness, just a fantastic tale that stands the test of time. And if someone out there listening, and maybe you're like me, who for my entire life, Jake, I only really knew, we never watched It's a Wonderful Life in my home. And I only really knew it from kind of pop culture. Right? Like,
Same.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings,
Exactly,
or
yeah.
whatever. But if you actually sit down and watch the movie, and don't be turned off by the black and white nature of it.
Oh, no,
Because-
black and white movies, they still hit.
Yeah, but I think some people are probably like me, where I was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't think of it as a positive. But some art, some stories are timeless, and that is one of them. And it's just beautiful. It's almost like time travel, seeing just how kind of going back and them recreating the 20s and then the 40s and everything and the 50s. It's awesome, man. It's my. What's interesting too? Remember, Jimmy Stewart flew combat missions as a bomber pilot in World War II, and so he comes back. They make It's a Wonderful Life in 46 or 47, so it would maybe film about 45. And in the scenes when he's having the breakdown and he's kind of throwing stuff and kicking stuff, that is a man. You can see the look of true despair in him. He later talked about how essentially none of that was planned, kind of the over-the-top throwing things and everything, but he was channeling his own kind of PTSD from returning from World War II and then having to come home and be normal and everything. So I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
Actually, I probably haven't seen that I'm 37, 25 years.
So, okay, exactly. So I had not either, and then I watched it 5 years ago, and I will never not watch it again. It is the one movie that I can guarantee you I watch every Christmas until I die.
Have you given the Christmas Story? It's not a remake. I think it's a sequel.
No,
have you given that a chance?
No, I don't.
haven't either.
It's not, and I don't think that I have anything necessarily against it or anything. I don't know. Like there's other movies that I've obviously been watching a lot of Grinch with the kids.
Jingle
Elf.
All the Way is a go-to. Elf is another one for us. Yeah, the kids love Jingle All the Way.
I know. Rest in peace, Phil Hartman. One of the best underrated movie villains. Howard. Nice. Cookies are delicious. Now I've got my Turbo Man wrapped safely under the tree. It's just such a, oh, God. You just want to punch him. Even though my favorite part about Jingle All the Way, though, is Arnold as classic 90s overly busy businessman.
Yeah.
When he's hands you're my favorite customer.
He tells his wife, yeah.
He just keeps telling everybody that.
You're my number one customer.
Like, I don't think Arnold could have that body and put all the time in the gym that you would need to put in the gym to get that body and still be an uber successful businessman.
Fair.
Like Arnold, if you're not making time for your kids' karate performances, you got to get out the gym. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate. You do the business thing. You bring the bread home. You got to get out the gym.
Yeah.
Now.
You can't be a gym rat and miss karate.
That's what I'm saying,
do it,
dude.
Arnold.
Like, at a certain point, you got to find other times when you're waking up to work out and everything. Also, Sinbad, man. Who doesn't love Sinbad?
God, Sinbad, man.
Yep.
What happened to Sinbad? He was out on the block there for a while.
I'm pretty sure he's doing like the casino.
Oh, he's in
tour.
Biloxi probably this week. There's no question about it. If we drove to the beach, he's on the billboard.
Ernest Saves Christmas, the classic, says Dan DeBasham. Now that's one that I haven't probably seen in about 20 years. I don't know that I want to watch Ernest again.
Ooh.
Feels very of a time. Maybe I'll show my kids it and see if they like it. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think the girl right now. Maybe a little bit down the road still.
8-Bit Christmas was pretty good by Michael Rutland. 8-Bit Christmas is pretty cool. Hour 3 coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, December 13th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge. Expect cloudy skies with a high of 77. Coming up on OTBOT, we talk Saints with Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football up next. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
Welcome back to OTB, hour number 3, and we do this every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. We talk to our guy, Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football. Nick, what's happening, man? Glad to speak with you again. Merry, I've been out last couple of Tuesdays, so I missed you. Merry early Christmas, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Congrats. Happy to hear your voice back here.
Yep.
Jake held it down, but you know, we need some levity, so it's good to have you back around.
The Saints do need some levity. Yesterday, I put them on the weekend loser list in a historic first for Off the Bench for something that happened over a week ago, as that opportunity that they let slip in Tampa only got worse. They're in sole possession of last place in the worst division in the NFL, whereas had they held on, they would be tied with everyone else. We'll get into all of that, but I want to start here. We talked to Jeff Duncan about a piece that he wrote about Sean Payton maybe being open to returning to the Saints. Have you heard anything similar? Is this something that feels realistic, or is it simply a Christmas wish?
Well, I don't think anything happens by mistake. You know, that story being printed, you know, as a journalist, you read things maybe a little bit differently, and you know, you kind of try to figure out how the pieces came together and where they're coming from. And, you know, some of that stuff you're reading people close to Sean and stuff like that. I mean, it's not a mistake. I mean, I think that story ends up where it ends up on purpose. And, you know, I don't think that just came from nowhere. It came from a specific place. And, you know, when Sean was trying to leave before, you know, those kind of same stories were out there in places where he was trying to go, Indianapolis, places out on the West Coast, you know, those people close to Sean, and then, you know, come to find out Sean was trying to go those places. So I wouldn't dismiss it entirely. You know, talking to some people inside the team, you know, right now it kind of sounds like, you know, that it would be, it's kind of hard to see anything happening on that front. But, you know, the thing is, if they keep losing games, anything's possible. And if Sean actually does at some point call Mickey Loomis and say, hey, like, I want to come back, that would be something I think you really have to entertain extremely seriously. Even if they were to win out the rest of their games. I mean, it's Sean Payton. You know, you're kind of entering a place. I don't think you could ask for a better coach for this team than the guy that used to have the job. The thing that stood out to me about that story, though, that's a little bit tough. I mean, that's a good, regardless of what happens, Sean comes here or not, it's a good story in the Sean Payton story front, so to speak. Like, if he's trying to go somewhere else, that creates some leverage now for them to, all right, this is where I want to go. If you want me, you got to speed this up. You got to give me a little more. This is what, I need assurances or something. If you're the Saints and you're trying to trade Sean, the idea of Sean trying to come back gives you a little bit more bargaining power. You don't feel as helpless in those negotiations. The person that it sucks for is DA. Like, it's just this guy that brought you in, put you in as the DC that you replaced, that he kind of blessed on the way out the door, is now kind of looking at your job, and you're sitting in that job. And that's a move kind of to, again, we don't know if Sean was actually involved in it or not, but that's a move on DA's job in a certain sense. So that's a little bit tough on that front. But when you're losing games and you aren't playing well, that comes with the territory. People are talking about Staley, McCarthy, all these people, Cliff Kingsbury. So it's not unique to anybody. Kind of when you are winning games and there's only 32 jobs, the Sharks are going to come. And in some sense, the Sharks are starting to come for DA a little bit.
Well, the McCarthy one is fascinating because it kind of gives you an idea of the value of Sean Payton, right? That McCarthy would even talk. I mean, Dallas is great, right? But could you be better? And it's funny, Nick, because this whole scenario, if indeed does come to pass and Sean Payton wants to return, it echoes a bit of LSU lore where there are people who will swear up and down to the point where I think it's true, Jake, maybe you confirm or deny, where Nick Saban, when he left Miami, when he knew he wanted out, he wanted to return to LSU, and the higher-ups had just gone to Les Miles, and they'd done pretty well. And so, they were still burned by Saban, and they said no. It would be a bit of a painful echo if the same situation would happen with Sean Payton and Dennis Allen. Do you think that Mickey Loomis, at this very critical juncture, which you've written about, this very critical juncture, would he be willing to make a move that bold?
If he was getting Sean, yeah, I think you have to. Yeah, it's not personal at that point. It's just this guy's one of the best coaches in recent NFL history. He's built your program. He's led you out of the situation you're in twice before, and things are kind of in disarray right now. And the whole idea was to keep the Sean Payton culture alive with someone, and that's failed. I think we can fairly say that experiment has failed. It has not worked. It's not gonna work. So whatever the path forward is, it needs to be different than what the path is right now. So, but if they want that, and that's the thing you're trying to have, and you can actually have Sean Payton instead of Sean Payton's way, I mean, it seems like a kind of easy decision. And look, if he actually wants to come back, not bringing him back, oh man, like if that's something that's actually possible, just this story alone, like let's say it's not even possible, this is just a story, just this story alone creates an atmosphere now where like Sean not coming back is going to kind of create some ugliness in the fan base. Like that's what people want, and that's what they're clamoring for. So if it's actually possible and you don't end up doing it, I mean, I don't know, that's something that could kind of fracture the fan base a little bit, especially if you don't find your way back to success. Now, if they pass on Sean and stay with DA, assuming this is a real thing, you can live through that if you're successful. But if you don't bring him back and you're a losing team again and things just kind of keep spiraling, that's a tough hit. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think Sean would I think Mickey would have to make that move. He's a shrewd guy. He's smart. If you can have Sean, I think you bring Sean back.
I'd rather have, if I'm the Saints, I'd rather have Sean Payton and no first-round pick than a first-round pick and no Sean Payton if I'm given the choice, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we see the value of a program builder. That's the thing too. Like Sean's value for a team that's kind of been in the doldrums a little bit, I think is significantly higher for a team that's like new bad. And if you're old bad and you need someone to turn you around, I mean that you would probably give up the world for someone to kind of save you from that. So I would give up a first-round pick beyond this year, along with the one that's already in Philadelphia, to bring like Sean Payton or a Sean Payton-like figure to here that you kind of can just say, all right, we got this guy, and it might take a year or two, but we know how we're going to turn it around, and this is the guy that's going to do it. I mean, there's so much value in that, and I think the value of Sean Payton is much higher than the value of one good player. Unless, that one good player is Patrick Mahomes. But, there's one of those guys on the world. And they're hard to find, and I don't think the Saints are going to find one of those with a first-round pick.
What is the road forward coming out of the bye week, Nick? Coming off of, it's funny, man. It's been a year where it's like, okay, it can't go lower than this. And then impressively, they found a way to go lower, right? And so it culminates in the most disappointing loss of the season right before the bye. What is the attitude around the building right now? What is the path forward for the rest of this year?
It's going to be tough. The thing is that the idea of the playoffs is over. So now they kind of got to, just decide what they're fighting for and who's playing for what. And, one of the things that I'm kind of starting to realize a little bit is I think teams believe that they have, character and all this stuff. But like, that's just a thing good teams kind of say. Like, I think you actually find out about the character of your locker room and all that stuff during the bad times. We don't actually know what that is, so when you're winning, it's easy for everyone to kind of be bought in. And when you're not, that's what you find out about the culture of your locker room. So we're going to find out. They lose this game. I think things kind of get dark in a hurry. And it's not just the team. Like, this team might start getting booed in the Superdome. And, that's something that just really hasn't happened in a really, really long time. And, then, you talk about the coaching thing, what starts happening when these people are out in public and everyone's screaming at them that, hey, you got to get rid of this guy or you got to do that. Public pressure and all that stuff is really going to ramp up if they don't win, a few of these games. And if they lose to the Falcons, I see it kind of turning very, very quickly. And, that's a place they haven't been in a real long time. These people running the team really haven't been in that situation ever. So it's on DA to keep the team together. They come out here and they start not playing hard. They keep losing games. I mean, that's where I think, he would lose his job, and there's really nothing anyone can do about it. So, barring a full-on mutiny, I still kind of think it's hard to see him getting fired. But, I mean, if they just don't find a way to be competitive, I think it has to happen.
It's going to be a very interesting offseason, to say the least, because of the coaching situation, the quarterback situation, the draft situation, the contracts that obviously are sitting there, and you have a salary cap issue. I don't really know where they are going to go. Even if they get Sean Payton to come back, this roster, Nick, still has a lot of issues that have to be resolved.
I mean, you could argue that there's probably a need almost everywhere on the team except for linebacker, and depending on what they do there could be a need at that position too. They need wide receivers. Offensive line's probably somewhat set. I mean, you could decide to do something with Andrew Speed and replace him. I guess cornerback's okay, but they kind of need someone in the slot. That's probably Alontae Taylor with some training. But, everywhere else you look, they could do something. Safety's a need. Defensive end is a huge need. Defensive tackle is a huge need. They need a running back or two. They need a quarterback. You could upgrade tight end. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things they could do. The other thing, though, is I think they still have solid, good young pieces. And I think there are some foundational players coming up behind the previous core, and being in the division you're in. You could probably just, man, I hate to say this because we said it all offseason, but you could probably get healthy and drop in a Sean Payton, and you're probably a playoff team next year if you just get decent quarterback play, which, I think you have a better chance of attracting that with Sean. This year, if they're kind of dangling a carrot and they're saying, hey, come over here and be part of our program, I don't really know who would come running, but if Sean's dangling that carrot, you probably get somebody. And, that's probably the way out of this. I think they could be competitive in a pretty quick turnaround. I mean, Brady's probably going to be out of the division next year, or at least that's possible. So, I mean, it's going to be really bad in the NFC South again. And I think with the right luck and the right person leading it, they could turn it around. Maybe just getting healthy and having DA get you there too. But, the odds of just talking about the story, the odds of someone like Sean, I think it's more guaranteed. You're taking that if out, and it's kind of all right, this is how this could happen, instead of, well, maybe this could happen. But yeah, I mean, I think it is somewhat bleak. Some of the issues, we've talked about the last few years with how do you solve the cap? How do you reload? All that stuff. It's a different feel when they're competitive. Them beating the cap, it's kind of something to laugh at a little bit, and kind of throwing the Andrew Brandt faces of the world when they're screaming doom and gloom. But when things are bad and you're trying to beat the cap, it's just depressing and sad. Why are you why are you doing this? Like, what's the upside? What's the benefit? So it's kind of just like a whole different tone on the whole thing. But at the end, like, I still think that there's a handful of good young players. I think they can build around them. I don't think it's like a rock bottom. I think rock bottom's still a few layers below, and with the right moves, they can avoid sinking more. But I think that's definitely possible. I think it could definitely get worse if they don't find a way to kind of cut this off and get back on track.
Yeah, never forget what Nick told us a few weeks ago. Those who go to hell willingly tend to stay there. So let's not get too emotional and just burn everything to the ground. Nick, one of the fun parts about being a bad team, maybe not as fun when you have a bad, we don't have a first-round pick, but it still is kind of fun, is teasing yourself with maybe it's this guy, maybe it's this guy. Is there a – now, the free agent market will be interesting to watch develop, but is there a college quarterback that you could see the Saints taking like a flyer on or somebody?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of that probably depends on, like, do you get the compensation for Peyton? I think if they got the compensation for him, I've and I know I tweeted this guy's name and people seem to like hate him right now, but like I know that there was some affinity for Will Levis, and I think that depending on how his draft stock falls and the Saints are in the first round, I think that's someone that I would probably keep an eye on a little bit. Definite possibility there. If it's second round, I think you start looking at guys like Hendon Hooker. The knee injury stuff that you got to figure out. But
hell yeah,
I honestly, like, I don't care who it is. Like, they just got to draft one next year, draft one the year after that, until like you actually have the player. Like, I think that's just something that they got to do. They got to be in that market continuously and just kind of get people in the pipeline. And you got to develop them. And the thing about like quarterbacks is that nobody knows. Like, everybody drafts players high, and if you're the number 2 pick, it doesn't mean you're good. You can be the 20th pick. You can be a second round pick. Like, nobody knows. So even like if you're trusting your scouting process, like people say, oh, well, if they love them, they got to take them, but don't reach. I don't know. Maybe reach a little bit too, because the players that teams love tend not to work out as often or more often than the guys they do love. So I think you just kind of got to be in that range and just, don't do anything reckless. But if it's a reasonable pick and you see anything, like, take a chance on someone, because it's the hardest position to fill. And you see it right now. Like, we spend all our time arguing about Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton. Like, come on, like, you got to just bring some guys in. Like, let's have better arguments than
sad.
this. So
it's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, just get someone in the building. Doesn't matter who it is.
Nick, more likely the Saints draft their next quarterback, sign their next quarterback, or go with one of the quarterbacks that they currently have next year?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to bring back Dalton and try to draft one. I think you start with bringing back Dalton. I don't think he costs a lot of money. He's probably going to cost more than the $3 million. I'd be surprised if Jameis is on the team. My personal feeling is that I think he should be starting, and they should be finding out what he can do, and just to see if there's more upside there. Like, I still believe that there's more upside there, but it seems pretty clear that they've made their decision on that. And given where that's at, it's hard to not see that fracturing. So I would guess that Jameis probably wants to go somewhere else. The team wants to move on. So I would suspect Dalton comes back, and you got to just kind of have that bridge quarterback in the building. I'd draft one, and I'd still be kind of working the trade market. Hey, is Jordan Love available? Like, who's out here? And if you can bring someone in, bring someone in. But I just think that they kind of feel good about Andy Dalton. I think they feel like they can win with him if they have the right luck and they put the right structure around him. I think he's solid if he isn't your long-term answer. If you're in a kind of like a bad transitory year, I think he's fine. I actually think he's been fine since they kind of committed to him this year. The last since the Arizona game, he's had a 100 quarterback rating and a 70% completion rate. Like, that's not terrible. Like, you can get by with that as a bridge guy, but there's limitations on who he is, and he's not a long-term answer. So, I think you keep him and just keep looking until you can find something better.
Yeah, that loss to the Cardinals is the Arizona's only home win in their last 13. It's been that kind of year. Nick Underhill at Nick_Underhill. We basically kept you for the length of a small podcast, Nick. Thank you so much, man. Everybody, go sign up for NewOrleans.football. Nick will be your Sherpa up this very tough Saints mountain. But in Nick, you can trust. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
New Orleans on Football is the site at Nick_Underhill. When we get back, I want to talk a little bit about last night's Monday Night Football game. And
my co-host today played in the game.
Yes,
played
in talk
majority of the game
about Kyle Murray as well. So keep it locked. OTB.
OTB.
Go to GEAUXroof.com. That's roofs up. That's what you need to say when they answer the phone. And then we're going to find, though, when you work with Go Roof, you're going to get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. Shingle. But it's not just excellent dad puns, though they are fathers and mothers over there. It's quality work, okay? And, of course, everybody's licensed, bond, and insured because, well, duh, right? I mean, come on. Serious business, boys. But what they go out of their way to offer is peace of mind, validation, standing by their work. They give you a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty, okay? So they go out of their way to do that to make sure that you know that you are getting the service and the quality of roofing repairs that you need. So call today, 927-8300. Get that free professional estimate, and let's get that roof fixed up. Roof's up. Go Roof.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Thank you, Acadiana, for over 55 years of allowing Corval Toyota in Opelousas to take care of you and your automotive needs. Enjoy this holiday season with family and friends. From the Corval Toyota family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Nearly half of children in foster care drop out of school. But you can rewrite that story. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
Join me, Jimmy Out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Poor Jake missing his Elvis rejoin. Blue Christmas and you ain't nowhere to hear it, Ball.
The song sounds best on a vinyl anyway, so I'm okay. I can listen to it when I get home.
Hoity-toity over here. Little Insta boy. A store your vinyl collection.
I have a great vinyl collection.
I
go thrift shopping all the time.
I had a record player and I got into it for like 2 weeks. But you know what my problem was? I never got a great set of speakers to use with it, and so I was plugging it into like a Bose Mini Link, and it was fine, but it was never like.
Well, the imperfections are what makes it great.
I'm not
in
worried.
my opinion.
No, for sure. I love the sound, little scratches.
Yeah.
Like I love the sound, and I think like real audiophiles still claim that like a new vinyl is the best audio quality I think that you can get if you're using like a nice record player or whatever. But I guess I just never got to the point where I just had it. Like a great setup out in the house, looks good, and I could just throw the record on. I always have to like plug something in, and it's never going to work if that's the case. You got to have it ready to go. I do have a very sick Star Wars A New Hope audio version vinyl that I bought in one of those thrift shops. It's like a 30-minute audio version of Star Wars. Very odd. Very cool.
Vinyls, like for new stuff, especially if it's not like a mega star, they're very hard to find. I'm a big fan of an artist, Jacob Banks, and I had to search like high and low, and actually had to have someone that I know that works for Everton, that lives in Liverpool, that's where he's from, found it in a thrift shop there and actually shipped it to me, because it's hard, very, very difficult to find.
Is he an Englishman?
Yes.
I'll trade you a bottle of water for a Jacob Banks.
Actually, you know what I sent him as a thank you? A little LSU swag box.
Oh, okay, dude.
Yeah.
Jake, the ambassador to our former rulers over the ocean there. Actually, aren't you literally going to be an ambassador for Everton or something?
If a certain number of things ends up playing out in ownership,
really cool.
Yes.
That would be really cool, dude. Fingers crossed for you. I know that would be like the happiest moment of your life, probably.
Not waiting on pins and needles about it.
And I'm sorry, I might have brought something up that's not public yet.
Yeah, it's not, but it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about Everton but me here.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. So Monday Night Football last night, Jake, your co-host Colt McCoy gets to end up playing quite a bit. You know what's so crazy? What are the Patriots, like 8-4 now or 8-5? I mean, it's so annoying how good Bill Belichick is at coaching football.
Yeah, because they're hard to watch.
They're gross. It's an awful style of
they're
football.
7-6.
The lows have been so bad. It's a joke that he made Matt Patricia the OC. Like, nothing should be working. I don't think Mac Jones is. I think he was way overrated over last year. And yet, here they sit, and they have a winning record once again because it's Belichick and the Patriots. But Kyler Murray, though. I mean, you want to talk about being in a bad spot. So he signed a huge contract. He did not look good last night. At the very beginning of the game, Kyler Murray goes down while running with a non-contact knee injury. It sucks, man. If you are the Arizona Cardinals, this has all come crashing down unbelievably quickly, right? I mean, you want to talk about a house of cards. You want to talk about how it's like a reputation. You want to talk about how quickly these things can be torn down. Arizona a couple of years ago was hot, right? I think the last 2 years, they started great record-wise before fading at the end, but there was still a lot to build on, right? For a time, you were challenging for the NFC West lead. It looked like you had found your franchise quarterback, Cliff Kingsbury's new age style with his cell phone breaks and bringing that offense to the NFL was working, and then it stopped. and it stopped drastically this year. And it happens to be the year right after you committed to and paid Kyler Murray. Now, all the drama started with the contract clause about video games earlier in the year. And if you're Kyler Murray right now, Jake, that might be the one saving grace here. Shout out to Kyler Murray. Calamari, as who was it? The old D line from Alabama plays for the Jets now.
Quentin Williams.
Yeah, Quentin Williams, Calamari. He's called him Calamari. And he was trying to act like he respected them, and he had to kind of catch himself. I'd be like, oh yeah, he's good or whatever. That was hilarious back then. But if I'm Kyler Murray, because this sucks, man. You catch that knee injury, it's late in the year. You got a long road recovery. It's going to be so much negative press. The one thing that you can make yourself feel better with, my guy can now grind some Call of Duty, guilt-free.
And he will.
Warzone 2 just came out. Word on the street is that the shipment from back in the day, close quarters, spawn, die, just like quick. One of the best Call of Duty maps of all time. I was always in Nuketown, man, myself. Liked wet work a lot too back in the day. But shipment just got released. He's got to grind these guns. Sorry for Kyler Murray, but also kind of shout out to Kyler Murray. If you're going to get hurt with a major knee injury, this is the perfect time to get hurt. Did you ever have that in college? Like, that was my favorite part about getting injured in college. Getting injured.
I never got injured, no.
I tore my ACL. I broke a leg, shoulder, all sorts of stuff. But
I never missed like more than one consecutive game in my life.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, so I never had that.
Big boys.
Yeah.
It was the most annoying was the broken leg. Because that happened in the off season. Just losing off season of preps, like what the hell?
How'd you do that?
What? Spring ball.
Ooh.
Goal line.
Shocker.
Awful.
Less.
Yeah, I know. Full tackle goal line. Imagine that. But yeah, what was it? But I remember like one time, like when I tore my ACL, I think like Gears 2 had just came out, and literally for my mental health, the ability to kind of make myself feel better by knowing that I could just go grind some gears and play all day, it did make me feel a bit better. So I've been there before, Kyler. So enjoy with the little things. Even though it's probably better when you have a $250 million contract than
probably
what I had.
Probably helps.
But it doesn't matter. I had a 360 and a TV. It's all one needs to be able to fully enjoy
now,
himself.
in college, if I had the new NCAA football game and a TV and a couple hours to spare, that was utopia.
Yeah. Actually, we never went through a hard NCAA in college. I want to say afterwards, like I guess the most NCAA I played was actually like around 04 to 06 territory. Went through a Madden streak in college, but for us, the college game du jour, if you're talking sports, it was always FIFA. If you were trying to settle scores, it was Call of Duty, but if you were trying to settle scores, one-on-one, bets, pass the sticks, it was mainly FIFA. I think the 12-minute games helped, right? Versus a full-on, hour-long man. And then a lot of Tiger Woods as well. I always appreciated Tiger Woods because you could play.
Hit the spin?
Yes. Oh, God, hit the spin was so much fun. But I always appreciated Tiger Woods because you could play as many players as you want with just one controller, right? So you didn't have to have multiple. You just pass sticks from person to person. It very much felt like a round of golf. I remember during many of those in between two-a-days, I would always go nap, but a lot of the fellas would just stay up and play Tiger Woods the entire time. Great memories. The only positive part about getting hurt, getting to play video games.
God, what I would give for a training camp nap, because I can't nap unless it was a training camp situation.
Yeah.
You turn the air down to about 60 in West Campus apartments, and you just mouth open, slobbering, nap.
The dumbest part is, too, when you're older and you're moving back into WCA, you're probably just sleeping on a mattress on the ground. I was. Is that what you did?
Yep.
Yeah, you're not like moving a box spring in and everything. Just mattress on the ground, a blanket, and you are good to go, man. They are the best. That and then, well, I would say this, okay? Tobacco usage is an adult thing, and you need to be at least 18 before you make that decision for yourself, and you have to be very careful about being addicted. For years, I would say that I was addicted to dip. Now, thankfully, I have a wife.
As he has a pipe in his hand.
Relax. This is more of a show pipe than anything. I haven't smoked in weeks. But, my wife basically made me quit dipping after years, and that's great. And it hasn't been a regular thing forever. But I'll be damned if cold can of Grizzly Mint out of the freezer right after a big right after a big dinner at WCA. Phew, boy, I'll be damned that thing didn't hit while playing a little Tiger Woods.
Yeah, and look, we had to find ways to stay awake during meetings as well.
Which is how it started.
That's how it
started for my dad. That's how it started for me. That's how it generally ends up starting. Man, what was it like if you tore your ACL in the 70s? And, like, not only was the surgery just freaking awful and they shredded your leg, but then what did you do?
Sounds terrible.
Guess you read books? I mean, I've like I said, ever since I had the new kid, I've been getting back into reading. It's been awesome, but still, that sounds awful.
The rehab, that was like a career-ending injury back then.
Yeah.
Like anything basically was that you did.
And
Torn meniscus, you're done.
And now they can give you tightrope on a high ankle and have you back in like 2 weeks.
Do you remember how much we talked about tightrope when Tua Tagovailoa had it?
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, we were having doctor after doctor coming in from Brock and talking about the injury and the procedure. Like, I learned everything that there was to know about tightrope. And I felt like
I remember that.
If it was hot for that year, because he wasn't the only player that had it, but it was multiple players.
Are people still doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, high ankles suck. Anything to heal. High ankle, to me, is the most annoying injury because it's not so bad where you can't kind of force yourself to play, but it is debilitating. Like, it basically makes you play one-legged, but you can still technically play, which is the worst kind of injury. Brendan Huff says, Hester looks like a red man guy.
That's pretty spot on.
Pretty good instincts there, Brendan.
Well done.
Of prestige worldwide.
Yeah.
Look, want to remind you, any gambling that you want to go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. Promo code Baton Rouge. Got incredible sign-up deals going on constantly. Hit a little same game PG last night, Jake. Faded the offense. Under Mac Jones throwing yards, under Codd throwing yards, underscoring in the first half, underscoring in the whole game. Bada bing, bada boom. You can do the same on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge. More.
21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. Minimum $5 deposit. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867.
More OTB coming up next.
OTB, OT.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, where they use the latest practices to get you the best vehicle. That's a weird, kind of thing I tried to do there. It's because we were talking about old medical practices, and I wanted to talk about All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge being updated. But just go look at the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, where you can see all the great Toyotathon deals going on right now. You can chat with salesmen, staff members right there on the website. You can actually order your vehicle with All-Star Toyota Express, Jake, right from the website if you want to, or you can go in and see them off of Airline Highway today and let them kind of guide you to your answer.
Or, because there's a lot of ors, because so many different things they can do for you, you can rent a Toyota for the holidays. If you need something bigger because you got more family coming to town like I do, or if you want to keep it small like T-Bob, maybe you're going on the road, you get a sedan that you can travel in. Whatever you're looking for, they got you covered. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare. at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Now in his 7th college football season, Lindsey Scott Jr. joins us, and we'll preview Pels at Jazz, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Ooh, Merry Christmas, Christmas comes this time each year. Well, way up north where the air gets cold, there's a tale about Christmas that you've all been told.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Brian Kelly releasing a statement on the passing of Mike Leach saying, quote, "My condolences to Mike Leach's wife, kids, grandkids, the Mississippi State team, and the Starkville community. We have lost the most transformational mind in football in my generation and the best press conferences you will ever Google. More than that, we lost an honest, caring, and committed father, a husband, grandfather, and coach. The game is forever changed because of his work, and Mike's legacy will live on forever to the people that he impacted. Rest in peace, Mike." Very true. Every single word there. Very true. I mean, you're literally talking about one of the most impactful people in the game that we all love and talk about every single day of our lives here on Off the Bench, on Off Campus, on Snaps, and all of that. It's crazy, man.
Gosh, man, it's just God, the 61 part, and we were talking about last night with Rivers, like that's the part that is just so young. And I know people pass away, unfortunately, at that age, younger than that age, but just like when you see someone on the sidelines coaching the game in the Egg Bowl weeks ago, 61 years old, you just don't expect them to not be there. I mean, weeks later for a bowl game, you know. So it's just like it's so sudden, and it just happens, and you never know. And you hear the cliches about treating life as precious as it is, and not to say he didn't. And Mike Leach lived life to the fullest and was so interesting, but it's just you just never know. And that's the part that for me is just 61 years old. It's hard to wrap your head around.
Hug your loved ones a little closer today. No easy transition. Mario, Pelicans playing the Jazz tonight. Got the Jazz twice this week. A Jazz team that is vastly overachieved from what we just thought they would be a few weeks ago. Traditionally struggled in Utah over the last few years, I feel like. Flock Up Podcast out early, out right now. If you want a new episode, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
So the Jazz did start the season really hot. They've since cooled down a little bit.
Okay.
They're one game over 500, 15-14, ninth place in the West, but they've been injured. That being said, there's a good chance they're going to get a little more whole tonight against the Pelicans. They got Larry Markkinen and Jordan Clarkson both back at practice yesterday, and Mike Conley is questionable ahead of the game too. So maybe a little less playing time for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who has been getting more minutes. He's been playing really well for the Jazz, but it looks like they'll get at least one of Lauri Markkinen, Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley back tonight against the Pelicans. So it will be a challenge on the road.
Jordan Clarkson, one of those annoying players that just on a random night he's going to drop like 40.
Killed him in the first game.
Hitting like 10 threes, just so frustrating. Any news on Herb or B.I.?
Yes. So it looks like Herb Jones is probable for this game, which is good news. Brandon Ingram is ruled out, according to Andrew Lopez yesterday.
Okay. It's okay. Get better, right? You don't need Brandon Ingram now as much as you're going to need him when stuff gets – I love the fact that we can now take it for granted that you're going to need Brandon Ingram like when the playoff time, when it gets tough here at the end of the year, when you got to be at your best.
And B.I.'s been so vocal on like social media and Instagram. It was really funny. One caption he put up after the last game talking about Willie Green and Campaign when they got in their little altercation.
Yeah.
He said, Willie said, "Come on, Cam. I know you're not really like that. I know how you really are."
Oh, did Willie really say that?
No, B.I. said that, quoting Willie, which
That's
was
what I'm saying, quoting Willie. Though.
Yeah, which was really funny. And he's been really active on the sidelines as well. Like, obviously, Pelicans fans want him back, but he's been really supportive and, frankly, really funny while he's been out.
That's great, man. I love B.I. I think he's going to come back. Is he going to come back twisted up? Is he coming back with the dreads?
Yeah. He said he's getting rid of the fro.
Damn.
Something else he announced on Instagram.
Damn, I have loved the fro. But that's all good. All right, when we get back, let's do a little Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Curse Light. Visit our Tilter Blue Moonlight Skies this week.
OTB, OT.
Go to centralplumbing.org. 925-8552 is the number. Centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org. 24/7 emergency service. Okay, remember that at this time of year when maybe something goes wrong. You're like, it's a weekend, it's a holiday, it's after hours. What are we going to do? You call Central Plumbing, they'll get out there. Okay, 925-8552 or go to centralplumbing.org.
Go to the website that T-Bob just gave you or call that number. 24/7 does mean 24/7. And we've been saying it with Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it is factual. T-Bob said it there. Like the last thing you want is a situation when it comes to the holidays. But if it does arise, you have a number you can call on the day, right? If it's Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. 225-925-8552 is that number. We give you the website, though, because you can go check out what they can do for you in the remodel game. And that's at your home or business. If you want to go tankless as well with a tankless water heater, they got you covered there. So check out the site, centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution a network built for every possibility. Moving faster than ever before. Streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Me, Jimmy out and Mike Delicano for the Tuesday edition of Game Time presented by Bet Rivers. We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers, 6 to 8 p.m. on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The night before Christmas and all through the house.
Hold it now, wait, hold it. That's played out. Hit it. Don't you give me all that jive about things you wrote before I was alive. Cause this ain't 1823, ain't even 1970. Now I'm the guy named Curtis Blow, and Christmas is one thing I know. So every year, just about this time, I celebrate it with a rhyme.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Time for a little Ask the Bench. Brought to you by Cold Course Light. Visit our Tilter and Blue Moon Light Sky. Citrus Sweet. Let me know if we're missing a floater here, Mario. Let's dive into the last bench. Let's get to your questions, man. Ask the Bench. Which of your grandmas makes the best gumbo? When she was still cooking it, my dad's mom made the best gumbo.
Yes, but say my grandmothers were both passed a while back. Neither really made gumbo.
Yeah, I mean my mom's from Manny, and shout out Manny, Winning State.
They did. You're right.
Mountain Union, I believe, or something. But it wouldn't matter. But yeah, it was much more of some good old country pork chops, fried catfish, that type of stuff. Absolutely delicious. Yeah, my mom's dad just makes some great fried catfish. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Oh wow, that's true. No World Cup semi talk. I forgot. That's today at 1. Argentina, Croatia. Luka Modric. Lionel Messi. Which tiny little man will win? Which one do you think, Jake?
Hoping Argentina, because that's who I picked before the tournament.
Really? There's no underdog in you that's going. I mean, I feel bad for Messi to the point though where I kind of want Messi to get it would be a great story for him to finally get it here at the end.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying for sure. I mean, he's one of the GOATs, and as we compared yesterday, do you want to be Dan Marino or do you want to be John Elway?
Yeah.
Dan never won one. John won one at the end.
Went
and
out on top.
Solidified his, spot in history.
John ended up getting 2.
He did.
Ask the Bench. If doing something good for others makes us feel good, can there ever be such a thing as pure altruism? Yeah, I don't think actually your feeling negates the altruistic value of doing something nice for someone else. I just think that's a dual benefit to the situation. So, yeah. Ask the Bench. Which one of your wives are a better cook on the holidays? I don't think I want to answer this.
Which one? I only have one.
Well, I think they're pitting us again. I see. Caitlin.
Yeah, Katie.
Yeah, there we go.
Caitlin's
Perfect.
never going to hear this anyway.
We handled it correctly. Yeah, that's true. She never will.
I mean, mine's certainly going to be. I mean, we have her entire family. Wives. Children. I mean, we got a whole house full.
Nelson Green, hashtag Ask the Bench. Everything else being equal except head coach. What record would Sean Payton have with the Saints currently?
7-6.
Yeah, okay, that's actually what he says. I think I'm inclined 6, 7, 7, 6. I think so. I think you'd be a couple games better. Absolutely.
I think we'd be pushing 500, and last year was kind of a little proof of that. Similar.
Yeah. Ask the Bench. Which family member gives the best gifts?
Family member? Oh, my mom is like the gift giver.
Really?
Oh, without question. My children are spoiled from my mother. Yes.
Yeah, I find that Caitlin's very good and thoughtful, and my sister Cammie is very good and thoughtful.
Oh, like now my wife passes out the ideas. I feel bad for her. Like everyone hits her up for the ideas, so
Yeah.
she has to give her ideas to everyone else. I thought we were going outside of our immediate family there, but if we're going outside, certainly my mom. But the ideas, they come from the wife. I'm bad. I'm awful. I shop for one person, my wife.
Yeah, I made a concerted effort. That's all I'm trying to work out this year is doing good for my wife, basically. And I think I've done it. We'll see. Page Plus Urgent Care, PagePlusUC.com. If you're feeling a little under the weather, like I have been, just go in there, get better for life's little unexpected moments. You, your kids, whatever you need. It is that time of year. Go hit up Page Plus Urgent Care's locations littered throughout Baton Rouge. They are fantastic, man. Wait till you see the facilities yourself. Any occupational medicine needs as well. You want to go to the Mid-City location of Patient Plus Urgent Care. Ask the bench. Chocolate fudge, peanut butter fudge, or both. Okay, chocolate fudge, peanut butter fudge, or both.
Peanut butter fudge, but if I have both, absolutely both. But if I have to pick one, peanut butter.
I would combine both. I don't know that I've ever had peanut butter fudge, which sounds crazy.
Jefferson, Texas has like a little like antique town area. They sell fudge. Oof.
Top 3 Christmas movies. We don't have enough time. We'll do that closer. We will do a Christmas movie tier list. We will bring back a tier list
Go.
on
Okay.
a Friday for Christmas movies. Y'all have a great day. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. RejuveMedical.com. Go there today. I don't care if you're male, female, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, if you want to feel younger and better, Rejuve Me understands aging and they can help get you there. And if you're worried, like, I don't know, is it good for you? Or not? Well, the YouTube channel, Rejuve Medical's YouTube channel has all those answers, but it's not that serious. So also think about this, right? You take your car into the shop to try to extend the life of your vehicle. You take your computer to the shop. Like all these other machines, we do upkeep on. Why don't we do more upkeep on our body, okay? Rejuve Medical, they do. So maybe HRT's for you, maybe it's not. Ask about the metabolization optimization while you're in there. It's the new hot treatment on the streets. RejuveMedical.com.
Go to the website, but always call the number as well. Let them know what you're looking to figure out. They're going to help you figure it out. 225-230-4201, RejuveMedical.com.